it's about getting into schools and talking to young people, because, you know, I know that people can change. And it's about talking to people and getting them to understand and perhaps step back from violence and prejudice and whatever. And we just need to work together and keep on the good fight there.
Absolutely. Hey there, guys. We are ecstatically happy to announce that we are associated with the Sophie Lancaster Foundation.
The times are changing, and with the unfortunate death of Sophie, those changes have made a massive impact for the future. If Sophie was with us still today, I can guarantee what you are doing will still be reaching so many lives of young teenagers, young adults, and those who wish to be as different as possible. So thank you very much.
To find out more about this incredible foundation and all the work they do, and more importantly, how you can help, head on over to www.sophielancasterfoundation.com.
Hey, honey bunny, it's Rivka Reyes.
This is Ron Wasserman, the nut that wrote Go-Go Power Rangers.
I'm Noel McNeil, and once upon a time, I was a bear in a big blue house.
It's Rab himself.
Paul Rugg, the voice of Freakazoid, and you're listening to the Chronicles of Podcast with Tom and Jamie.
What's going on, guys? It's the 65th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. This time you're getting pointed at, whether you like it or not. I hate that joke, though. Roots point. Like, all right, Dad. I do believe, Jamie, that these right here, right about there, are the Chronicles of Wednesday 13.
Oh, yes, they are.
Yeah, I thought they might have been. And before we get out of here, right, let's get back on the road.
Hello, hello, world. I'm Wednesday 13, not to be confused with Friday the 13th. You are watching the Chronicles of Podcast.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the 65th edition of the Chronicles of Podcast. And these are the Chronicles of Wednesday 13. It is I, the bearded brummy Jamie, and joining me, as always, this handsome fella over there. Right.
This is Scotsman Tom. What's going on, guys? Two things, Jamie. First of all, you need some WD-40 for that chair.
I really do, don't I? Yeah.
Obviously, back in a couple of years ago, I used to be the squeaky one. Now you've sort of like taken over as the squeaky with all the squeaky chair. So you definitely need some WD-40 for that chair.
I shall get some WD-40 for the chair. Yeah, definitely.
Good. Or a new chair.
Definitely.
I mean, always get a new chair. But
it's the wife's office chair, so we can't. It's a freebie, so we'll WD-40.
That's why it squeaks.
Yeah, it's fine.
Anyway, the other thing was, as well, that I really wanted to get to was, I never knew you were on Flog It. When did you work on Flog It?
Don't you fucking start. I've had 7 years of this. Don't you start.
Jesus. Did you hear how we said that? Don't you fucking start really quick. All right, Jesus Christ. I'll bring the drugs to you tomorrow, right? I'll get you money.
You better do, no. Right. This has been haunting me for like 7 years now. It does not look like me.
It really did.
Does nothing. No.
Before you lost that amazing amount of weight, that really is you.
No.
Like 1,000,000% is you.
No. I refuse to accept it.
Joe Smith nailed it. That because I woke up that one morning. For those that don't know the story, basically there's a guy on Flog It that looks exactly like Jamie, but previous Jamie before he lost all his weight. And his ex-partner put it on Facebook, on his social media. So anyone that knows Jamie personally will know that he looks exactly like the guy from Flog It. He probably isn't on there anymore, but from that photo. So definitely Ginger, definitely looks like Jamie. That's all I've got to say about that. It blew my mind. So when did you just get a job in like auctioneering, that sort of thing?
No, it does not look like me. I feel like I want to put it on the video to get feedback. But knowing my look, everyone's going to agree, and then I'll have to go weep into a corner.
Put it on the video. Definitely put it up on here so everyone can have a look. And then next week, let us know, guys, what you think if the Flog It man looks like Jamie, and I'll take my winnings now. Anyway, let's move on. I've got a story for you. This is in the news this week that I felt before we get to obviously the sad part of the show. Yeah. Let's get to this part first. So Let's do the tribute, and then we'll get the funny shit in afterwards, and then we can lighten everyone's mood again. Yeah,
that sounds like a good idea. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we need to talk about it, really, don't we? There's one thing that's known on this show is me and Tom are huge fans of the Power Rangers. We've interviewed Zordon. We've interviewed the man that did the music for the show, Ron Wasserman. And the other day, we lost Jason David Frank. At 47 years old, Tommy, Oliver, the green, the white, the red, the black, all those Rangers, we lost him. And it's absolutely heartbreaking, and it's hit me a lot harder than I thought it would, to be honest with you.
Yeah, I remember when I saw the news and I was like, really? It's not been shared anywhere? And the amount of people on Twitter that were like, show me the evidence. But yeah, it's obviously come on quite close to him. And I think it's one of those things that you just... Yeah, it really. I literally out loud on Sunday went, just do a Frankenstein, really, and I texted you straight away.
You did.
So,
my initial reaction was what? Because it was like a gut punch. I was in shock.
Checking on your friends, guys. Checking on your friends. Checking on everybody. Always make sure that everyone's okay. You know, his best friend was gutted that he missed his phone call. So it's just. Go on.
It's gonna say it just got me thinking about this guy and this character and how much he actually meant to people, especially of our age and our generation. Like the amount of people that watched that show, and how many people who are into martial arts now probably watched that show and saw Tommy and were like, "That's fucking cool. I'm doing that." You can guarantee some of your favorite wrestlers and MMA fighters grew up watching the Power Rangers. Hell, Kofi Kingston and Xavier Woods came out dressed as the Green and White Ranger not that long ago. You know, that influence is there. It's mental. And, you know, the character of Tommy, he showed people at our age growing up, you don't always have to be the bad guy. You can turn it around. You can redeem yourself like he did in the show. And, you know, on a personal level as well, he made it really cool in the 90s to have long hair and an earring, because I did that. And, you know, well, I wasn't treated like I was cool, but still, it was cool and I did it.
I mean, all I want now in tribute is I want every martial artist now when they fight, I hope they go, I hope I literally they make his noises, because his noises can never die. You know, but it's really sad to what happened. Just check on your friends, guys. Yeah.
I was going to say, everyone, if you are struggling, reach out. You know, whether it be a friend, a family member, a complete stranger. Sometimes it's easier if you don't know the person. A professional. Hell, if you're watching this and you think, these two guys seem like a laugh, I'll have a chat with them. Do it. Slide into our DMs, as the kids say. If you need someone to talk to, do it. We will be there for anyone listening to this. Just seek that help if you need it. Please reach out. Don't let those dark thoughts do to you what they did to him.
I really hope kids aren't sliding to DMs. Anyway, but yeah, reach out, talk to people. Right, let's get the show back on the road. Jamie.
Yes, sir.
Brits are horrified by what Asda have done for Christmas. Have you heard about this story?
No.
Asda festive lube range has been released for Christmas.
Hold that. Rewind, run that by me again.
So Asda have released lube.
That is what I thought you said, but I wanted to double check. Okay.
Not just any lube, they've released festive lube.
How do you have festive lube?
So I'm going to read you the story, all right?
Okay.
Strap yourselves in. Headline, Brits horrified by Asda's festive lube range, which helps Santa up the chimney. It's the most wonderful time of year. Brits have been left both shocked and in hysterics by Asda's latest festive product line range of a Christmas-themed lube. Images were shared on the Reddit page Casual UK of a bottle of Tingle All the Way, is what it's called, prompting a mixture of shock and laughter from many. Adorned with snowflakes and a traditional festive green colour, scheme the product, which has not been tested on animals, is available at a bargain price of just £2.50 for a 75ml bottle. That's your Christmas sorted.
I'm getting some. I'm going to go shopping next.
As if often the case with this sort of thing, many saw the opportunity to flex their comic muscles, and the comment section was soon filled with X-rated Christmas jokes. Are you ready?
Oh, yes, always.
It helps Santa come up the chimney, one said. Love a bit of stuffing on Christmas Day. A third guy replied with, helps the big guy empty his sack. There'll be no Silent Night when this gets used, said another. Tingle balls, tingle all the way. A user chipped in. Others, however, were less focused on making jokes and were more intrigued by the product itself. One Redditor wondered if the tingle all the way pun was a reference to the ingredients in the lube. They wrote, I'm trying to think what they put in this that makes it tingle. Something similar to the active ingredient in the original source mint and tea tree shower gel? No, that would definitely be a night to remember. The original post of the image replied, it tingles with the joy of Christmas, obviously. We'll leave you with 2 more jokes from the comment section. Santa only comes once a year, said one joker. And another quipped with, someone is going to be saying, oh, this Christmas. Give yourselves a pat on the back, everybody. Beautiful.
I have so many questions. Like, what makes it festive?
I love the fact that Asda went, so we've got the shortbread, we need the chocolate, you've got all the pigs in blankets, fantastic. There's just something missing. There's something missing from our Christmas range that we really need to be sorting in our stores. It's going to make us profits, guys. Lube. That's what we need. Fucking Christmas lube. Fuck the crackers. Fuck the plastic plates and cutlery. We need lube, boys. That's what we need.
I love it so much.
Incredible, right?
But it's working because people are talking about it. And I bet it's flying off the shelf. You can almost guarantee it. I know I'm getting someone to go shopping. Damn right. I need it. I just need to know what it's like. I need to not. I don't want to go into that much detail. I
was going to say, what do you mean you need it?
I need it. What the fuck makes it festive? That's what I want to know.
Dude,
like,
if you guys are going to... If you want to ram her in the ass, that's entirely up to you. That's totally your bag. That's your bag. Don't say you need it to understand what it is. Like, it's fucking lube, dude. If you want to buy some, you might as well fucking use it. Don't skirt around the subject. Oh, yeah, I just want to know what makes it tingle. Nothing. It's just called Tingle the Way because it's Christmas.
I want a festive wank. Leave me alone. Jesus Christ, man.
I'm sick at the front. I want to go up the back. All right? I've had enough of all this. It's missionary bollocks. It's arse time.
I want a festive Yule log, all right?
I've ruined the front, now I'm going to ruin the back. Don't be having any Yuletide logs, or we're at it, love. All right.
I can't believe they got rid of my sprout cheese and they brought out lube. The fuck has done?
Yeah, they clearly were like, well, sprout cheese hasn't worked. chocolate Gatux isn't working. Get the fucking lube out, boys.
Gatux.
No need no fucking Black Forest Gatux on the Christmas. We need Tingle all the way, boys. That's what we fucking need here. What's for dessert? I bet you want to find out, don't you, love? Tingle all the fucking way.
Oh, what's that, says Nana.
Oh, not again. The other thing that's really been on my mind a lot, Jamie, recently is like, it's me and Keris have been watching I'm a Celebrity, Get Me Out of Here. I've thoroughly enjoyed it this year. It's been good. We've had a laugh. Who the fuck has to pick up all the insects to box them to put them in trials? Could you imagine having to collect all the mealworms and cockroaches? Like, Jesus Christ. You're there. 1, 2, Jesus Christ, on again. 3. Oh, sorry. 1, mate. Fucking 2 cats. Fucking 3 pricks. 40,000 bazingas. Here we fucking go, mate. All right, are you ready? Fucking cockroaches coming, son. Make sure you release them 10,000 at a time. Make sure you don't fucking let all of them go because I've got to fucking pick the pricks up. That must be what a horrible job that must be.
Yeah, absolutely. That must be such a weird time of year. Oh, we've had an order for 60 billion cockroaches. It must be I'm a Celebrity time of year.
All right, in dick back in the jungle, fucking right. Bonza, mate. I'll get the mealworms, the reptiles, the snakes, the spiders, whatever you fucking want. I got them. Do you want a kangaroo? Fuck it, let's get that involved as well. Little croc. Yeah, we'll get a croc in there. Don't you worry about that, mate. What's a crocodile? You mean a croc? I've never heard of a crocodile before. It's a croc. We don't say crocodile in Australia, mate. It's a fucking croc, all right?
There's no dials around here, mate.
We don't bother with the long word. We like to make sure it's just a short word because it's easy to say. Barbie, mate. Fuck barbecue. Barbie. All right? So much fucking easy to say. Might use more time for beer. I love Australia, by the way. I am not slagging off anywhere to perform. It's just fun.
It's fun. It's always fun to do our funny accents. We enjoy that.
Exactly.
The other thing I always wondered with I'm a Celebrity is where the fuck are they ordering these weird foods from that they make and buy? Like, excuse me, I'd like to make an order for a kangaroo anus, a sheep's vagina, and a bull's testicle. I don't know. Like, where are they ordering this from?
Yeah, I think they must obviously slaughter the animals from an arboretum, just take it from there. Is it an arboretum? It is an arboretum. No, abattoir. Arboretum's the nice tree place with all the lovely flowers. And I was getting those two.
Do not get those two mixed up.
Oh, love, do you want to go to the arboretum? I mean, the abattoir. I've got it fucking wrong again. You want to go down to the arboretum, to the abattoir?
Hello, my vegan girlfriend. Let's go for our first date to Arboretum.
You got it wrong. It says abattoir, mate. Fucking hell. All right, we'll leave that joke where it is. We've ruined it about 16 times, so we'll just leave it right there. Okay, let's just leave that dead and buried. I know what's going to really rile you up. I don't know.
No.
I've seen it, right? And I'm like, there's no need. There's no need. Why are people trying to rehash shit from the 90s and the 80s? Leave it alone. They don't need a sequel.
What have they done?
Do you know what's in the works right now and out in 2027?
2027? They're planning far ahead. What?
The Goonies 2.
No.
I don't know why. It's in production right now, and I'm like, why? Why? Why does it need a sequel?
It's such a loose concept. You could just come up with a whole new fucking film.
I don't get it. I don't understand. I'm not one of those like, aren't you making a fucking another film for? But it's just come up with some new ideas, maybe. Just leave it alone. Because what's going to happen is
they're dead anyway.
Well, they're obviously going to bring back who they can, I imagine, and then it'll just be awful.
No, leave it alone.
Yeah, I agree with
Hollywood bastards.
Absolutely. So I thought that might upset you a little bit. A lot of people are a bit like, "What? Why?"
This is a very mixed emotions beginning to the show. It really is.
Well, I'm about to end on this number. I'm about to piss off a lot of religious people before we move on to the catch up. But when I finished Jeffrey Dahmer this week, right? Well, last week. I finished it last week, and obviously I won't go into too much detail. But one of the prisoners was talking about how he found Christ. I was like, okay, you found Christ. Where was he? Behind the sofa? Are you playing hide and seek? Like, what exactly did you find him? I don't understand. I don't get it. Just be like, I became religious. I just, I started following the Bible. Not, I found Christ. Or did you? Well, I didn't realize he was hiding. I didn't even realize he existed. Like, where is he? Is he my dishwasher? Is he? I don't get what you mean you found him. Like, oh, there you are. Hey, my turn. You've been hiding for 20,000 years. Now it's my turn.
Sorry. Boo.
But then how long can you hide for before you go looking in case someone's forgotten about you? Or how does that... The hide and seek is such a weird game as well. Because
from Jesus to hide and seek. What?
Because that's what Jesus is clearly playing. He's clearly playing hide and seek with everybody. They're like, oh, I found him. Like, oh, did you? Where? I spent years looking for that prick.
Imagine if that was the rules of religion. It was just a big game of hide and seek, and once you found him, you suddenly believe in God.
Yeah, and you've become omnipotent. I hear all.
I've never put that together in my head, how ridiculous that saying is until right now, and now I'm never going to be able to hear it again.
I was just watching Dharma and he was like, oh, I found Christ. I'm like, did you? Where? What do you think you found him?
If you could let the Catholic Church know, because they've been waiting for him to come back for fucking years. If they'd just known he was hiding behind your sofa.
Yeah. And then you get people like, oh, it was in my beer. Was he, David? Really? Maybe you should lay off the fucking Rehypnol, Dave. Yeah, lay off the drugs, mate.
I found Jesus in my toast. No, you didn't.
This is how you buttered it.
I'm pretty certain I saw one that said I saw Jesus in my cat's butthole before.
God. Yeah.
World's a weird place.
Those people exist, everybody. Those people exist. Jamie, how are you?
I am very well. I'm going to pull a you this week. There's an example. I am shattered. Like, my brain has gone... I've gone from doing a week of nights, 2 weeks of lates to 7 threes. So my brain's just gone, oh, now I'm awake at 5 a.m. I don't like this at all.
Yeah, it's not good for the body, man. It's not good for the body at all.
My system's just going, blah. But no.
So literally what's done.
Yeah. But I'm on earlies again next week. So by the time I start next week, I should have adjusted. I'll be fine.
Doesn't it get easier to go from like the earliest to the lates or the nights, obviously, because you normally wake up early and you don't, so your body's like, it's going backwards. That's the worst bit.
Yeah. Normally I adjust quite quickly, but for some reason this week I'm really struggling. I sat at work today and just like, I just want to go to sleep. It doesn't help the fact I got back really late last night. So by the time I got to bed, I got like 4.5, 5 hours sleep. So I was like,
what you get for having a life, my friend.
I know. How dare I? What a bastard. But yeah, other than that, I am good. How are you, sir?
Yeah, I'm all right, man. Not too bad at all. Can't really complain. We've had a horrific fucking rainstorm, thunderstorm, and windstorm today. It's been really weird.
Ooh.
Yeah, really fucking weird. And Newport News were reporting from the bridge, which is literally just over there. I think a guy tried to jump in the river.
Oh, bloody hell.
So, yeah. So obviously going back again to the conversation earlier, make sure you're checking on your friends and checking on your loved ones.
Yeah, we had one not far from me either. Top of a car park in the shopping centre.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't want to go too far into this, but do you really want to fall that far?
No, not really. I don't think I'd want to fall any far.
That's what I mean. I don't really want to get too much into it because obviously it's a subject that's not really to be touched, but it's... I won't touch it, it's fine. Just checking on...
Just checking on people,
ones, guys. Just checking on people. Fuck me.
Yeah.
So yeah, what's been going on with you, my friend? What's been going on?
Not a lot, to be honest. Mostly I have been Rihanna-ing. That's all I've pretty much done since we last spoke, really. I think I've had 1 day off since we last spoke, so I've been Rihanna-ing all night long. Well,
lovely. So I want you to Craig David me and you Rihanna. I loved it.
You wanted me to Craig David you?
Can you feel me in? Sorry. It just came to my head. I can't leave that alone. I have to drop that in quickly before you keep on talking.
I'm surprised we've never thought of that before.
No, I know.
There we go. That's another one for the repertoire. Yeah, I've mostly been working. Watching wise, I am on series 2 of 24, episode 22, almost at the end. Now, remember last week, I believe it was, when I said I was so happy that Mike was back? Well, fuck you, Mike, you dick. What the fuck,
in my head, I was going, oh, yeah. Oh, yeah. Oh, okay.
Fucking piece of shit. But yeah, I've got 2 episodes left this season. God damn, this season's good.
Yeah, it is.
Absolutely.
Yeah, it is. But Jamie, wait for 5 and 7. That's all I can say.
Oh, God.
Wait for 5 and 7 for me. Like the top 2 series that they've done.
My main thing I take away from this series, though, is Jack's daughter. Her name has escaped my head for a moment. Kim. Does she ever have a good day? Like, what an eventful 24 hours she is having in this season. Jesus Christ. Accused of murder, a girl she's looking after kidnapping, someone being killed, then caught in a bloody hostage situation. I'm like, what the fuck is going on with this girl? Thinking her dad's died in a nuclear bomb. Like, Christ. She's not having a good day. She needs some therapy. That's what she needs.
Wait for series 3.
Jesus Christ.
Your outlook's going to change so much by the season 3.
I cannot wait.
I love it.
The 2 most important things I've done this week is on Monday, I went to the cinema to see Wakanda Forever because I finally got down to watching it. So good. I'm seeing a lot of hate for this movie and I don't know why.
Because, Jamie, you love everything. That's why, Jamie. Everything. You love everything. So this is why you'll never have a bad thing to say about it.
I didn't love Thor. Thor Love and Thunder was dog shit. I didn't love on that.
Okay, fair. 1 in 1,000, I'm sure.
Yeah. Probably right. But no, it was really nice. You kind of have to separate it from the other films in a way, though, because it's very much a love letter to Chadwick.
I bet it is.
But it kind of needed to be in a way. But no, it's a great film. It's really fun. I really enjoyed it. So I can't wait to see what's going to happen with that. And last night I went to another gig. This time I went to see Nightwish, and they were absolutely superb. There was two support bands. I cannot remember the name of the first one for the life of me. They were like a Finnish industrial black metal band. Like the background was like a giant devil fetus, and they were good though. I probably want to listen to them. And Beast in Black was the other support band. I don't know if you've heard Beast in Black before. They are proper, make you get up, shake your booty power metal. Like, you just want to dance the fucking night away when you listen to Beast in Black. They were great. And they have the happiest drummer I have ever seen in my life. I just wanted to keep him as a pet. He was amazing.
How close were you?
I was about halfway on the floor. Okay. But no, he was just like proper going for it with a massive smile on his face, the whole thing, throwing his sticks up and catching. He was like, I was like, you are adorable. I want you. Like, you're amazing. You make me feel good. But
let me get Asda first. I've got some tingle on the way to pick up. Yes. That's what you want it for.
Yeah. And then Nightwish were absolutely superb. Again, surprised myself with how many songs I knew. I think there's only like 2 I didn't know, and this is off the latest album. But no, they were absolutely phenomenal. That woman's voice, my God. They did a song, and most of it is literally just her, no music. And you're just like, how does one person create that sound? Like, incredible voice. Like, I'm pretty certain she's like proper professionally trained in opera and stuff like that. Oh, stunning. Absolutely amazing show. They were great.
Enya?
Yeah, and another great example. But, and the way, yeah. Just, if you've not listened to Nightwish, you really should, because they're absolutely superb.
I'm all right. But yes, it's their own end of the day. It's their own.
But yeah, that's pretty much my week. I've not been doing that much. Just the past 2 days I've done stuff. Watching was, like I said, I've literally just watched 24. I've really not watched anything else.
Yeah, good lad. It's drawing you in. You will watch nothing else now. You are one of us.
But after this, I'll be going to watch the season finale of Andor, and I am very excited.
Star Wars, yeah?
Star Wars, yeah.
There we are then.
Yeah. What have you been doing? You Craig David me now.
I've been Rihanna-ing, really. I'm not going to lie to you, Jamie. I haven't left the house. It's fucking lovely.
At all?
I've been nowhere. It's great. I'm going away this weekend, but I'm just like, yeah, I just didn't want to. So I've literally, because I now Rihanna from home, and then last week, because we had a massive event in London last Thursday, we didn't go to the office. So I was just like, okay. So I've literally been sat in my bedroom working and watching the World Cup. Yes, I don't know, that's really controversial. You should boycott the World Cup. Yeah, we probably should, but I'm still going to watch it because I just want to. Yeah. So, yeah, gutted it's in Qatar, and obviously, you're not allowed to be gay or lesbian or trans or anything because it's illegal, and it's all bullshit. But it's football. I'm going to watch it. So.
Yeah,
everyone, it's just my prerogative. I just want to watch the games. Some of them have been absolutely amazing. So the Japanese beat Germany today. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah, I don't even follow football, and the results have been blowing my mind. Like, Japan beat Germany, Saudi Arabia beat Argentina.
That game was phenomenal. Like, a phenomenal game. It was so good. Argentina had 3 goals disallowed. Unbelievable that game was. So they deserved it, the Saudis. And then they showed some of the Saudi fans today, and they were like taking their doors off, and then they were cheering, going mental because they like hitting. It is great. It was so good. So we're watching the World Cup. Like I said, me and Karis finished Dharma, so we finally finished that. Braden spoiled the ending though. He didn't spoil the ending for me. So which I found quite weird. I was a bit like, I thought, never mind then. But that was brutal. What else have I been watching? Not a whole fat lot. I'm a Celebrity Get Me Out of Here, of course. I watched Full Gear on some. I woke up, Jamie, at 7 a.m. to watch Full Gear. I was too excited to sleep. I have not been that excited about a pay-per-view since I was a teenager.
I was going to say,
mental. Yeah. I was like, I've got to watch Full Gear because I'll get it spoiled for me. And I got to the main event, and Keris follows Saraya on Instagram, and she played a video which I heard whilst I was still watching the main event. But luckily, it was the start of the main event, not the end. And I was like, because you know what? I'd have been fucking livid. Yeah, because I was like, of all the things you could have done, I've been dying for this for months. It was fantastic. The 6-man tag match between the Elite and Death. I just want that I want that in my face all the time. I just want to watch that match. They're doing a best 7 series now, like phenomenal, because those two are unfucking real. I was losing. I haven't felt that watching wrestling in years and years. And the main event made me very angry.
Yeah, I don't get that.
I was shocked as well. I did not. And again, that's why I love it so much. Did not see that fucking coming. I don't think anybody saw that coming. And that's the beauty of AEW. And that was the beauty before the internet became a thing and ruined everything every fucking day. But like, oh my God, James, I was losing my shit.
I've heard really good. How was Saraya's return?
Awful. I didn't enjoy that match at all. Yeah, it was not a great match. Fair play, she's cleared and everything, and she was very emotional, but the match was terrible.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did not. Jamie hated Tony Storm. Oh, magnifique, monsieur. I've been working on too many French boardrooms today. That match was sensational. Really enjoyed that one. That was way better.
Okay. So, to be fair, it was a title match. I kind of hope so. But yeah.
Oh, well, Cargill and Nyla Rose is fantastic as well.
Did I see Jade Cargill came out dressed as a Thundercat?
As She-Ra, yeah.
What a hero.
Yeah, it was cool. Anyway, I watched Full Gear and obviously watched the NFL. And just the usual bollocks I normally do. Like I've done, other than Rihanna I have done Sweet F.A. But tomorrow I'm off to the office and Saturday I'm off to see my family. So
there you go.
I'm back in the old shelters.
On Friday?
On Saturday.
On this Sunday.
Yes. Oh, are you? Are you now?
I am indeed.
Seeing the kids, I take it?
Yes. There's no other bloody reason to go there.
This is very, very true. Anyway, I think... and to tie into what we're about to do, last night I seshed with our friend Braden Barry, who obviously is the owner and founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, Jamie.
He is indeed.
Shall we check in?
Oh, I think we definitely should.
The greatest advert ever.
Oh, yeah.
All right, is this thing on? Well, howdy doody, everybody.
This is Braden Barry from Say We Can Fly, founder of Stay Cozy Clothing, your one-stop shop for the coziest, most fashionable hoodies, t-shirts, and more.
Gosh, Mickey. That's right, folks. And we're proud to say that we are now sponsoring
the Chronicles of Podcast. Ouch.
Hosted by Tom and Jamie.
Like, you can get 10% off, man! That's right, Shaggy! Just use the special code, The Chronicles, at checkout.
Oh, boys!
Now, do you know what, guys? It's Jamie's favourite segment of the week.
Yeah, it is.
It's time for Callum's Treachings.
Yeah!
Do you want to know something? Callum will be able to tell you in Callum's Treachings.
Is cereal soup?
Ooh.
Anyway, Jamie.
Yes, sir.
What is Callum Treaching us this week?
Someone might still be using that pen that you lost 5 years ago.
Yeah, this is so very true. Although I would have thought by now it might have run out. But
to be fair, it was 5 years ago, probably.
Unless they don't use it that often. I used to find when I was at Specsavers, pens would disappear. If you put it down, that fucker was gone in seconds.
I find that I don't remember picking pens up, but then I go in my pocket and I've got like an additional 3 pens and I don't know where they came from.
Do you reckon it must be a thing we must think, oh, fuck, I obviously lost my pen because my pen's here. And then, but you keep repeatedly doing it. Because I think I did that as well. And I looked at my pouch and was like, well, I've got 5 pens.
Yeah, I think I'm a subconscious pen klepto. Like, I constantly accumulate pens.
Maybe that's what it is. Maybe we just have a need for pens. Maybe internally, you know how like women, like internally, not all women, want kids to like, have this nurture. Like I just need this in my life. Maybe men just have nurture for pens. I just really need to write, Deirdre. To be honest with you, Is that all right? Not to you, obviously, but I just want to, I just want to write something. What, if I need to write a check or a birthday card?
Was that a Dear Deirdre reference?
It wasn't actually, but I realised that I need to write to Dear Deirdre. Yeah, I think that's why I said not to you, obviously.
Dear Deirdre, I have a problem stealing pens. Please help.
There's a pen thief amongst us.
And it's me, and I didn't realise. Yeah. But
if you can't work out who it is, it's clearly you.
Saying that we're lasting 5 years, you're saying it might have ran out. If it hasn't ran out, it's probably exploded in someone's pocket.
Yeah, that's a fun. There's some pens now with the lids have a hole at the top, and you put the lid on, and the nib pokes through. So you're like, why the fuck are my hands covered in ink? I found that happened quite a bit as well. That was bullshit. But yeah, I'd like to have hoped that by now those pens have run out. I would like to have thought so.
But if they haven't, Godspeed pens. Enjoy your journey with your new owner.
Are you a chewer?
The lids, yeah, kind of.
So the lids. So I like to, especially with the really like nice smooth ones, just put it through my teeth, like not actually chew it, just like that's a weird thing I like doing.
Oh, I do that
weird
too.
As fuck. Yeah. I like the way a pen lid feels, but then I like the way Maltesers feel when I eat them. That's weird as well. So genuinely, this is true. When I eat a Malteser, especially if I get chocolate and no wafer, I love the way it's weird. All right, it sends me to a place of just ecstasy, and I love it so very, very much. That's why I can't stop eating them. So we had a box of Maltesers in the Christmas bag, and Kerry's like, let's not eat them because we'll have them for Christmas. I was like, I just got a chocolate craving, and the box, I was like, it was huge. We finished it. I think I told you last week, I felt very sick.
You did, yes.
Yeah. But the way I had to have 6 at once, and the way they just, oh my God, I'd want Maltesers now.
Yeah, I mean, now you're talking about. Do you ever put them in your mouth and sort of like let all the chocolate melt off in your mouth?
No, that's what Kerry does. No,
and then let the stuff inside just sort of come together. I do that.
Sacrilege.
Oh, I really want fucking Maltesers now.
Yeah, I like the way it feels in my teeth when I chew through them. Oh. Anyway, let's move on before we get into some weird tingles away conversation. What else is Callum teaching us this week, Jamie?
At some point, geography will start to incorporate astronomy as humans start travelling further and further out into space.
Whoa. Oh, that's amazingly... Really? Like, fuck.
He's right, though.
Do you reckon that's going to happen? I don't think that's going to happen. I don't think that technology is going to advance that far before we all get wiped out or whatever.
It won't happen in our lifetime, but someday it's got to happen, surely. We've been talking about it for fucking years.
You know, when people talk about how people come back as animals, do you reckon at some point people think they're going to come back as aliens?
Possibly. I'm going to be reincarnated as a Martian.
I've come back as the moon. What the fuck's happened here? Why do I smell like cheese? I don't know why this is a moon, by the way.
I don't know. I wasn't going to question it.
This is now a moon for some reason.
Got wings on its face.
Yeah. These are my rings. Like the sparkle from my rings. Yeah. That'd be weird as fuck. Would you want to live forever?
Oh, fuck no.
Would you not?
Time. The idea of death terrifies me, so kind of, yeah.
Yeah, same. Yeah.
Bit of both.
It's kind of weird how that's a thing.
Yeah. Same time. When you watch all these programs of like these people living for all these years and they get to experience so much, like, yeah, it would be kind of cool.
I guess. Like, obviously, you got to deal with the fact that if you did live forever, all your loved ones would obviously die.
Yeah. There's pros and cons.
And maybe we should move off this subject.
Getting deep.
That's kind of crazy. I don't know if that's going to happen. If that's ever going to get to a point now with how the Earth's heating up and all the Tories care about is money and they don't give a shit about anything else or anyone else.
You can't blame the Tories for space travel.
I can blame them for whatever the fuck I like. Because they're all just self-centered, greedy little fucks.
England doesn't even have a space program.
Huh?
England doesn't even have a space program.
They're probably funding someone else's. They're probably funding Bezos or some weird shit. You know, there's probably so much that we don't fucking know. So all these people that are there going, oh, but man Hancock in the jungle is actually doing all right. Fuck off. Like, why is he even in there? He doesn't deserve to. Like, I don't understand. Like, everyone just gets warped and fucking gets, brainwashed by this absolute bollocks, and I'm not standing for it. I'm not having
his
it.
book. That's why he's in there.
Apparently, he's on Celebrity SAS as well.
Yeah, he said no. Fucking.
That's that last week. Yeah, suck so much dick, Matt Hancock. Fuck off. I will happily sit here and I won't be like, oh, but you know what? But no, not having it. Anyway, let's move on. What else? And finally, Jamie, what else is Callum teaching us this week?
As humans only kill the spiders they see, we're kind of acting out natural selection as the spiders we don't see are getting smarter and more intelligent at hiding. Therefore, we're creating better spiders.
Do you know what? He's got a point, though.
He has got a point.
Just imagine. Soon you're going to see spiders doing Mission Impossible. They're going to have like a one-eye lace thing, like din. Yeah. And eventually it's going to be like eight-legged freaks, where they're going to be like on the side of houses, like, hello.
I can guarantee Jamie. Claire has turned this episode off already. She's terrified.
Yeah, probably. That's what's going to happen, though. You know how they do that there? Oh, shit. I'm not here. You can't see me. I'm just sat. I threw it off my balcony. I live in a 3-story. One just ran across and Kerry screamed her head off. I caught it, put it under a thing, and just went, "Be free!" Forgetting that I live on a 3rd-story flat. So I was like, hopefully he's Spider-Man against the wall. Otherwise, have fun. This is what it feels like to block.
I don't get why people are so scared of them.
I'm not a fan. And do you know what I'm not a fan? I'm not a fan of the fact that they've got 8 fucking legs. Why does something need that many legs? And so they're like, hello. I just don't know. Sorry.
Does that mean you're terrified of centipedes and millipedes then?
No.
But they got way more than 8 legs.
Yeah, but they're not fucking weird. I don't know. I thought this was really funny. I was trying to do something funny, and my brain was going, "Not today, Tom. Not today. Sorry, you're on your own there."
I've never understood it. Why so many
centipedes and millipedes don't invade my home?
That's a fair point. I'll give you that one. Yeah,
that's what. There you go. That took me 5 minutes, but still I got there in the end. The conversation's gone somewhere. We're on to fucking space now. Where are you? Where were you 5 minutes ago?
It makes me. I've been sat there before, just got into bed, just got comfy. Becky's having her nighttime wee before she gets into bed, and all I hear is, "Oh fuck! It's a fucking spider!" And just sitting there on the curtain, on the shower curtain, going, "Oh yeah, like leave it alone."
Love her, chin chin. Have a lovely sleep. It's lovely and toasty in here.
It's lovely and moist from your shower. Thank you very much for the lovely surroundings. See you later.
Well, the best thing about spiders is they eat all the tiny little fucking flies and stuff. They eat all the little shit that you just, So
just leave them alone.
Oh yeah, I'd love to see like ninja spiders and like commandos and stuff like that.
But going back to the actual treat itself, he's got a very good point. There's got to be like spider meetings. Like, I can't believe it. They got Dave. We need to change our tactics. This isn't going right anymore.
Don't go for floor, go for ceiling. You come across the wall, go to the kettle, scare him, and I'll jump down. I'll have him. I'll tie him up in a web. It's going to take about 4 years to get the fucker, but I'll get him.
Now you've officially made Claire cry. You know that.
Do you reckon they've got their blueprints out on like their webs? Kind of like looking at them, go, right, so you coming from the side. Their web prints. I was reckon a spider just knew it could shoot web.
That's a really good point.
I need to have a shit. Oh my god, what the fuck is that?
Do you know what I'm going to do with that? I'm going to make an house.
Yeah.
I'm going to fucking live in it.
Well, live on it, because you can't live in it. And flies go, oh, it can't get away. Looks a little bit tasty. Looks a little delicious, that. I remember when I saved a bee. Once, right? It was knackered, bless it. It was it was boiling hot. So I gave it sugar water. It took me like 4 years to like get it to drink it. Get it drank and went, yay! Straight to a cobweb. I was like, oh.
You fucking idiot bee.
I was like, I spent half an hour to an hour trying to like give you sugar water, and you just killed yourself because the spider went, cheers. That's lunch sorted.
Oh, when he's full of sugar. Cheers, Tom.
Yeah. And the bee's like, you prick! You said you've killed me! How could you do that? Weirdly made me think of Lisa from The Simpsons with the lamb. Lisa, I thought you loved me. Loved me. Anyway, let's move on, shall we?
Even as a cartoon, that shit's heartbreaking. But
we love characters. It's the best segment ever. You know, it's the one where we're not really actually involved in. But go on.
And I do have some feedback from last week's Treachings. Speaking of Miss Jones, I've just previously mentioned, she eats curry on a plate with a spoon.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I don't know.
The rice I get, but how can you eat the meat?
I don't know. She must just take the whole chunk of chicken in one go, or whatever meat is.
Claire Jones, explain yourself.
She was like, it's loads of sauce. You need a spoon for the sauce, but the rice absorbs the sauce.
Naan bread, poppadoms. That's what they're for.
Yeah, use a fork. No, apparently she uses a spoon.
Weirdo.
And she also eats cake with a spoon.
Oh God, this is your best mate.
Yeah, she tried saying because of custard and ice cream, but if you got custard and ice cream, you're putting it in a bowl. Don't count.
Before I get really angry, it's time for Tom's Journal. And welcome to another edition of Tom's Journal. Chris Hemsworth is like a D&D character whose class 100% does not require a high charisma stat, but he has put it at the highest stat anyways, like, I think it will be useful. So he just walks around as a muscle-bound brawler who can also inexplicably get anything he wants from anyone by smiling at them. Him and Terry Crews.
Oh.
Terry Crews, high-level fighter who also multi-classed into Bard for some reason. Chris Hemsworth, the barbarian who loves to knit. Enter Hugh Jackman. Hugh Jackman, high-level Bard who was forced to take on Barbarian when the party didn't have a tank, and now just wants to sing, but he's been the tank for so long, it's anyone ever sees him as.
What he wants to sing, it's so true. Poor bastard. I'm not Wolverine. Yes, you fucking are. I want to sing.
Yeah, you are, Hugh.
Got
you
up,
are
Wolverine. You're not singing.
Yeah. Get your claws out, Hugh. Come on, get your claws out. Let's have a chat. You can't die. You're fine.
Well, we'll meet in the middle. Wolverine the musical. Could you imagine? That'd be amazing.
Logan style. Yeah. Right. This one I don't get, but I thought you might. It's Harry Potter again. All right. Okay. So, Hogwarts Wi-Fi passwords. Okay. So, let's get real. It's a school for the wizards and controlled by wizarding adults. The Hogwarts Wi-Fi password would be password at best. Sorry, it would be password. At best, it would be Hogwarts. Okay? But, as for the individual houses, Jamie.
Okay.
We'll start with Slytherin. Network name, The Dungeons. Password, 6FB B9W52. Change monthly to protect from potential leaks.
Yeah, I don't get that
Gryffindor, because it's really complicated so no one can get into it.
Oh, okay. I thought there was a yeah. Okay.
Gryffindor. Network name, The Best House Ever. Password, Gryffindor 1. Was Gryffindor for 6 years straight, but they changed it after too many unwelcome visitors.
I like that.
Ravenclaw. Network name, Ravenclaw Tower Wi-Fi. Password, fire. Prefects will only give the password in riddle form. It's up to students to work out what the actual password is. The password is also changed frequently. In this case, the riddle is, give me food and I will live. Give me water and I will die. What am I?
Ooh. They're the intelligent ones are Ravenclaw. That makes sense. Makes sense. I'm seeing my house is next. So I'm intrigued now. Come on.
Hufflepuff. This makes so much sense now. Hufflepuff. Network name, Huffpuff. Password, pass. That's it.
I don't know whether to be insulted or not.
Nice and simple.
Yes, then.
Sorry, I couldn't help myself. I do apologise. Mind you threw the ball up. I had to hit it.
You did. I would have been disappointed if you didn't take it to him.
This made me laugh my ass off. Keris thought I was mental and thought I was weird, but I just loved this joke. It just tickled me so much. I was like, I have to bring it. It's a dad joke. I have to bring it to the show. I just can't. I can't leave it alone because it's fantastic. All right.
Okay.
And now I've built up this much. I really hope it does live up to its expectation.
I was thinking that. I hope I get it.
I should imagine you will do. Jamie. My neighbour blamed me. Sorry. My neighbour blamed my gravel for making him fall, but it was his own dumbass fault.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
I can't. That took you like 5 seconds.
That did take me a minute.
I was like, he doesn't like it. Shit.
I was just being fucking slow.
Hufflepuff. So, sat in a university lecture, this guy looks and sees this T-shirt called Gaston Roofing. All right? And so he wrote a song. Admit it, you sung this too. No one builds like Gaston, no one drills like Gaston, no one cuts and installs windowsills like Gaston.
That is superb.
Oh, I love that.
I love that.
Final two. These are, in my opinion, exquisite journal entries.
Okay.
Somebody went to Google to ask a question that everyone has obviously wanted to know the answer to, which was, can Pokemon go to the toilet? Google said this: Pokemon do not poo or pee because their waste byproduct is expelled through use of their special moves. So you're telling me that every time Pikachu used Thunderbolt in the anime, he was taking a shit?
That is incredible. And I need to send that screenshot to Sam because he will love that.
Whilst we're on the show, let me forward that to you right now.
That is absolutely super.
There you are. That's been forwarded onto you right now.
That makes sense why Squirtle enjoyed it so much. I've been holding that in forever.
And finally, Jamie, this was a tweet that somebody destroyed in the greatest way possible, like imaginable, and massive hats off to this person. I'd like to know how fast they did it in, but still, because there's no time. But anyway, someone tweeted, this lovely lady tweeted, a good romance starts with a good friendship. To which someone replied, and a bad romance starts with rah, 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 rah. Fucking incredible. Absolutely. That I was crying at that as well. That is a top level journal entry.
That is super. Whoever thought that.
Funny.
Mwah.
Ricky, whoever you are, you fucking legend.
That is fucking brilliant.
Oh, it was so good. So good. Because sometimes I read stuff and I go, this is going to be good. Then it's like some mental health stuff or whatever. I'm like, okay, that's fine. But obviously I can't use that for the show. And then I find gold like that. And I was like, yes, magnificent.
That is absolutely incredible.
And that was another edition of Tom's Journal. Shall we bring in thine piece of resistance, Jamie? Did you want me to bring that piece in? Yeah.
Yes,
Should we bring
please.
The piece? I know how excited you've been for this one, so welcome to the Chronicles of Wednesday 13.
It's a good day to be a fucking bad guy. It's
is a Jamie episode. This is a Jamie interview, guys. Not that for lack of me wanting to speak, I just couldn't get a word in edgeways. So
say like that.
And but it's not an issue. This is not an issue. This was one of Jamie's bucket list guests to get on the show, and we had Wednesday. And what's great is if you watch the interview, just watch Jamie's face. That's all you need to do. Is you just literally watch him be like, yeah, oh my god, it's just it's lush though, isn't it? Because you get to speak to one of your heroes of like 30 odd years.
Yeah, I tried my hardest not to fangirl. I don't think I did. I know a little bit. But I think I ran.
Yeah, but you're allowed to a little bit. Everyone go watch the Braden episode in 2020 and watch fucking Megan. Like, yeah. So, don't worry.
For those who are unfamiliar with Wednesday 13, first off, how the hell can you be unfamiliar with Wednesday 13? But back 20 years ago this year, a little ditty of an album came out called Beyond the Valley of the Murderdolls. Murderdolls were a side project of Slipknot drummer Joey Jordison. And Wednesday was the lead vocalist for that record. And my God, this album changed my life, quite frankly. I decided that I was going to go full in. I am now a Ghoul Scout, as the fans were called. I had a black shirt. I had red fishnets on my arm. I had a red PVC tie. Obsessed. I listened to this album probably at least once a day. Like, just completely obsessed. And then Wednesday moved on from that when Joey went back to Slipknot, released so many amazing albums, side projects and everything. And we're now here today. He's just released his brand new album, Horrifier, and it is incredible. And you should all go listen to Wednesday 13 right now.
Well, actually, you should listen to this interview first.
Well, yeah.
Listen to everything Wednesday has to offer. I'm not going to lie to you. I think The Toilet and the Chicken are two of my favourite stories I think I've ever heard from a guest. It's absolutely incredible. I'm really excited for you guys to hear this one. It's like I said, it's a very Jamie episode. So I literally just took a sit back and just let him and watched my boy go. It was lovely. So yeah, I pretty much Jamie'd like to get on with it if that's okay with you.
Absolutely. This, like I said, this is phenomenal. You're gonna love this one, people.
Jamie,
yes, sir.
Any words at all that you'd like to say that are final?
Just a massive thank you to Wednesday for taking the time out to come on our show and tell your stories about you, about Joey, about everything. I love this interview so much. Everyone enjoy it.
Yeah, so Jamie sent me a picture, I think 5 or 10 minutes after we'd interviewed him. I was like, look, I'm watching it. So it was lovely. We laughed, but it was lush to see. It's always one of those moments where I'm like, I'm glad that happened. Like like before I get started, as I said, I was watching some stuff yesterday and I was going back to it and I'm like, it's like a diary. Right? Look at these people we've spoken to. It's incredible. And now we get to add Jamie's bucket list. We get to add Wednesday 13 to the collection. Ladies and gentlemen, here we go. Ladies and gentlemen, interviewing this week, it's Wednesday 13.
Ladies and gentlemen, this week we bring you an incredible, legendary guest, a man who became a huge part of my life 25 years ago when I picked up an album called Beyond the Valley of the Murderdolls. This week's guest career has spanned over 30 years and many records, including his brand new album, Horrifier. It is an honour to say we welcome the Duke of Spook, the leader of the Ghoul Scouts, because, ladies and gentlemen, these are the Chronicles of Wednesday 13.
No one's ever done that yet. That's actually my favourite. Wonderful. But Wednesday, a big question I think that I had to ask everybody is, how have the last 2 years been for you? How's your pandemic season been?
Horrible. And I don't think anybody had a good time, but I had an extra horrible time. So wasn't my favorite. Even just coming out of it this year. Even being able to tour and stuff, it still had the lag of that still kind of holding on. It just kind of, I had the ball rolling, I had the momentum going, and then it just everything went down like everything else. And so yeah, it sucked. I hope we don't have anything like that again anytime soon. And I hope all the worst is behind us.
Yeah, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't have a good time, my friend. That's awful. It does suck us, but at least hopefully we're at the other side now and we don't have to experience anything like that ever again.
Yes.
Yeah, I especially felt sorry for people that work in, the music industry and the arts, because that is your life. It's you going out there, you're touring, you're amongst people,
Yeah, it was weird. Like for me, a lot of people, think that just because I'm the front guy of a band, I've been doing this forever, I don't have like this antisocial kind of, fear when I get around people and stuff. And being on stage and being able to do that every single night for years got me out of being shy, I guess. But having those 2 years off, it's like I had to start all over again. I found myself on stage, making eye contact with people going, whoa, that feels weird. What's up? So yeah, it's like relearning the old tricks again. So it's been a bizarre time.
I imagine it. I always wondered if like half the musicians got on stage, went to sing, and they're like, I can't remember the words to these songs I've been singing for so many years because I've not done it in such a long time.
You know what? I don't usually have that happen a lot. There's usually one song per tour that I'll get some lyrics wrong. And it's usually just one song. But once I can kind of correct myself, I'll make like a little cheat sheet and I'll tape it to the floor one day, and I'll just kind of stare at it for 2 days and I memorize it. And but no, I've been really good at remembering these lyrics. It's weird. They come back to me. I don't really before a tour, I don't like go back and reread the lyrics or really listen to it. I just kind of jump into it, and it comes back. It's like the alphabet, Sometimes I flub it, like a field sobriety test. Sometimes you'll flub it. But overall, I'm pretty good. I'm not in need of a teleprompter yet. But who knows?
So there's a moment you just hold the microphone over the crowd and go, "You sing."
Yes. Oh yeah, that's the old Vince Neil trick.
So, a question I like to ask all of our guests: take us back, sir, to the days when you were a young wee lad, young Master 13, we could say. What did you want to be when you were growing up? Was it always music?
No. I tell this story all the time, I tell stories about this all the time. But it's pretty much made me who I am, what I do, the way I sound, the way I write music, just everything. When I was really young, I'm talking 5, 6 years old, I was watching rated R movies. I was watching action movies. I was watching First Blood, when it first came out. Chuck Norris was a pretty big star at the time. At least to me, he was the man at that time. He had a lot of movies on. My family had like an illegal HBO Cinemax hookup, so I had nonstop cable, and I lived in a little trailer when I was with my mom and my brother and my sister, and I didn't have a bedroom, so my bedroom was the living room. So when my parents would go to sleep, I just watched these movies, and I watched all these action movies and Rambo and all of this stuff. So music wasn't even anywhere on my mind. If I liked music at all, it was because it was a soundtrack or something for a movie. But I was and during the time in the 80s, you could go out as a kid and buy toy guns and toy army helmets and everything, and it looked like real stuff. There was a company called Intertech. I wish I had it nearby. I would show you. I have one of these guns. There's a water gun from 1983 that looks like a real machine gun. And they had the company got shut down because some people robbed the bank with it because they looked real. And so I was this kid that just had this boxes and boxes. I mean, like trunks full of guns, like you would see like Rambo or Commando when he would go to his gun room and just, I had that in toy guns. So to answer your question, what did I want to be? I thought I was going to be like a one-man army. I wanted to be like Rambo. I wanted to be like a cool cop, like the undercover. I didn't want to be like on a team. I didn't want to be a part of a group. I thought, this is back in the 80s when movies like Red Dawn had just came out. We thought we were going to war with Russia. And it was, so in my mind, when I saw Red Dawn and I've watched the movie since it came. I just recently watched it again. And the scene where there's the kids are in the classroom and they just see the paratroopers coming down in the playground. I wanted that to happen. I mean, in my brain, I'm like going, man, I've got toy guns. What am I thinking I want to do with it? But in my brain, I'm like, if I could just get a hold of some real guns, I could probably maybe take out Russia. That was sort of the deal. And that led into music, I guess around like 5th or 6th grade. I started getting into rock music and stuff. My brother was turning me on to a lot of cool stuff. And I was in a talent show in 6th grade. I was trying to impress this girl. So Whitesnake's album was like the number 1 album in the world at that time. And they had the Here I Go Again. They had just put out Still the Night was the first video, and then they had just released their ballad. Every band puts out the ballad on the 3rd video, and it was their ballad for Is This Love? And I liked this girl in 6th grade. I'm like, man, what if we lip sync to this at the talent show? I'll get this girl to pay attention to me. And it worked.
Yes.
Yeah.
Played it. We got a standing ovation. I got this girl to be my girlfriend. And then I realized the power of music. And I went, I don't think I want to fight Russia anymore. I want to maybe grow my hair out and stop this lip syncing to do something. So that pretty much set it up for me. So that was the transition. Although it's still hard. I still have the Rambo, Chuck Norris, Charles Bronson side to me there, but that's just that's just my fantasy world now.
Oh, thank you so much, David Coverdale.
Yeah. yes.
Would you not want to ever incorporate the army side of things? Because obviously your shows are quite what's the word I'm looking for? Like they're big spectacles, aren't they? So wouldn't you not want to ever incorporate like an army thing into the show at all?
We have our song Rambo, so that's about as army as it gets. So depending on where we are, I have over in the UK where we have like a bunch of our other gear. We have like gears, like all this stuff behind me. I tried to cover up with this terrible sheet here. I basically have my storage space with all of our gear. We just got off tour last week, so all my gear is behind me. But in the UK, I have one of my favorite Rambo guns. It's actually like it's not a real, it's a real gun, but it's like an airsoft gun, but it looks, it's awesome. Customized it with Rambo logo on it. It's got a laser sighter on it so I can point out in the crowd. But everybody knows it's a fun song, so they don't think I'm just an insane. Well, I would say they don't think I'm an insane person. They may think I'm an insane person. I don't know. But that's about as far as I incorporate any type of that, what I was just speaking about. So that's always fun when you can get an entire audience, a club filled full of people chanting RAMBO, blow them up like Rambo. That's an achievement in my world.
Absolutely love it. And also one of my favorite songs. So there we go. What obviously you're saying you got into music. What made you want to incorporate that love of horror and stuff like that into your music in the first place? Because it's gone for your entire career. That's been like your calling card. What made you want to incorporate that?
Well, talking about how I watched all of these movies and stuff as a kid when I probably shouldn't have been watching them. I was watching all the action movies, but I was also watching all the horror movies as well. I was watching Creepshow and Nightmare on Elm Street and Friday the 13th Part 3 and 4 when it came out. All these big movies that are like in my mind. I remember seeing them when they first came out, and as 7, 8 years old watching them when I shouldn't have been watching these movies. But when I started getting into music and started learning how to play, I started with guitar. But I was always writing lyrics and stuff. And when I really became a lyricist and started writing songs, I can't remember who I asked one time. I just said, I asked some guy in a local music store I used to go hang around and watch play guitar. And I'm like, what do you write about? And he's like, write about what you know, dude. Play guitar. I'm just like, what do I know? So I went home kind of with that just ringing in my head. What do you know? And I'm like, well, I know about horror movies. I know about all this stuff. I really like the imagery of that. So I just literally sang about what I know about. And so that's where like some of my earlier stuff was really movie driven, or something came from a line in a movie that made a song. So that's always been my go-to, and I still do that to this day. Like even the latest album, there's a song about the Halloween movie. There's a song about Christine the car. So I'm still pulling from what I know about, and that's always easy for me to go to that stuff. Writing out of the box is hard for me. It's like playing a hard board game. I don't want to do that. Yes.
So it's what I used to love, like especially the early Frankenstein Drag Queen stuff. Like you'd always have that like sound clip from a movie at the start of the song, and like, if I'd watch a film and I'd hear it, I'm like, I know where I know that from. It's like FDQ bingo. It was great.
Yes, it's fun. I've done that with several bands. Just hearing samples and things like that from movies. I even catch myself these days, and I'll hear a sample. I was watching Halloween 5 the other day, or it was 4. Halloween 4 was on the other day, and I heard a sample from Frankenstein Drag Queens on there as well. And I was like, whoa, I forgot about that. There's several from that 4 and 5 I used. But yeah, I forget about some of that stuff sometimes.
Speaking of Halloween, as it is a sort of a hot topic at the moment, and you're such a lover of horror, what did you think of Halloween Ends?
Oh man, I can tell you, I had probably one of the best times ever at a movie theater going to see that. We had a day off, and we went as the band and our crew and everything. Like 8 or 9 of us went to the movie theater on the day before it, like right at the eve of it coming out. Like it was like, I don't know, like a 10 o'clock showing, and there was nobody in there but us. It was amazing. It was like we had our own private theater. So we were just loud and goofy. And I think about 30 minutes into watching it, I didn't want to like sit up and be like, what do you guys think? Because I could just feel it and then we just went, this is horrible. So we just ate more popcorn, laughed, and then it sort of became Mystery Science Theater, where everybody said something and then we would make a smart comment, and it was hilarious. But again, I didn't go there with this big like faith in oh man, the Halloween franchise is going to be rescued. Like I wasn't that thrilled with the second one or the one before it. I kind of checked out on the Halloween movies, I think, whenever Busta Rhymes came into it. And I was like, all right, I'm out of here on that one. That was when that was. But yeah, I went to see it just because it was fun. It was a cool idea to go with it, and we had a great time. But yeah, for me, that's not what I would want in a Halloween movie to end. I thought the last one was weird and just kind of all over the place, and this one just went even worse than that. So again, I'm not trying to shit on a movie or say it's horrible. Some people, these new Halloween movies are their first introduction to Halloween, and they think it's great, And if I was younger and didn't know anything about it, maybe I'd have a different mindset on it. But I grew up like watching Michael Myers. He terrified me as a kid, and so I have a special place in him with him in my heart of just like he was the face of horror and he was the scariest thing, and just to see how that image is just kind of, I don't know, it just kind of, it's not as scary as it used to be. So I try to remember it as I liked it in the earlier days, like the first 2 films.
Yeah, he's not Michael hiding in a tunnel. Let's be
No, that was weird. And then they did the thing of he stares in the kid's eyes and he's going into him. I'm like, no, they're not doing this. I saw this in a movie called Vice Versa, where a guy and a kid changed personalities with that Fred Savage kid from the 80s. I'm like, they're not going to pull a Vice Versa, are they? So that movie was all over the place, and it was just, and then the opportunity to use a new mask, and they gave the guy the goofy kind of candy corn mask or whatever it was.
Yeah.
And I was like, that looks like something you'd see at the checkout at my grocery store. Maybe that's what they wanted, but like I'm always thinking outside of the box when I watch movies or watch sequels, and I just like so many missed opportunities. Like they could have brought in the Silver Shamrock mask or something and had the kid wear those, or have just something different than he possesses some kid and lives down in the sewer. I don't know. It was weird. I don't know. I'm glad it's over with, and we'll just wait for the next batch of them to come out with some new director, and we'll see. But I'm okay with the originals.
Absolutely. So one thing that always drew me to you as an artist, as Tom mentioned earlier, you've always added that theatrical element to your music, whether it be the giant umbrella, the brushing your teeth on stage. I remember that from back in the Murderdolls days. You did that like right from the beginning. Maniac, Spider Trash, FDQ, all that sort of stuff. Where does that come from, adding that theatrical element to the show?
It's all stuff I've seen on TV. Everything. The TV was my world. Everything, I lived in front of a TV up until I went on tour when I was 25, 26 years old. And I finally was detached from that. And I got to tour and see the world. But before that, my eyes were on TV. Every little thing that is inspired by, like the toothbrush thing. So people would just think, oh, that's just a random thing. I'm like, yeah, it is random, but that's Pee Wee Herman. That's Pee Wee Herman in the movie where he's brushing his teeth, and he had the big toothbrush. So that's where that came from. The umbrella, what that eventually became was what I call the fuck umbrella now, because we play that song and I use it. But originally I did it back in like 93 or 94. I was watching some old cartoons, some Looney Tunes cartoons, and the Coyote and the Roadrunner, and he was holding an umbrella, and lightning strikes the umbrella, and it's just the skeleton of the umbrella. So what I used to do is I used to bring an umbrella out on stage and just open it, and it was just the wire. And I would just hold it and sing a song, and that just looked cool. Was just like, what the fuck's this guy doing? And then that turned into Murderdolls being on tour, opening up for Papa Roach, which was not our audience. And this is like in 2002. So, we had a handful of our fans there, but for the most part, we're fighting a 1,500, 2,000 capacity audience that wants to hear Papa Roach and the new metal stuff. Those guys were our friends, and it was a cool tour, but like music wise, we were up against an obstacle on it. So every night I was trying to think, what can I do to engage the crowd or fuck with them or say something, or just to get a rise out of them. So it was raining one day going into the venue, and I looked over and saw the umbrella, and I went, what if I write fuck on that? That was it, just a thought. And then Joey's like, yeah, you could use it on stage, and use it on that song. And then that became, and we tried it out, and it finally got the audience to like us. They kind of put up with us. And then that was our last song, I Love to Say Fuck. And we had everybody in the place chanting, because everybody loves to say fuck, so that was how we won them over. And then that went into us, and that became the staple of the show. The fuck umbrella saved our lives as far as like winning the audience over. So I've always used humor, at least when it comes for me, use humor to win the audience over than trying to go to this extreme. Oh, let me make you believe I'm the scariest, darkest creep. You know what I mean? I would rather go for I call the Beetlejuice route. That's the fun,
I like that, yeah,
humorous route to it. So that's kind of where all those props and the sense of humor and all that comes from those kind of movies. As much as I love a really serious, scary horror movie like The Shining or something like that, I love Pee-wee's Big Adventure. That's, I'm equal in those worlds. So I'm able to do that with my music. I'm able to write about those things, the imagery, everything. I think people know I don't take myself too seriously. At least the fans know that. When you put a quote up on Blabbermouth or something about me, and you read those comments, then people that don't know me, they think I'm that serious guy that walks around all day with makeup on. I just wear sunglasses in my house. That's all I do, guys. That's not as evil as it gets.
You can't be evil 24/7. Even evil needs a break.
Yes, hard to be evil 24. I tried it. It's not fun. I gave up. I didn't even make it 24 hours trying to be 24 hours a day. Gave up.
Speaking of the theatre of your live shows, there's a story rumor that I heard many years ago about like early days of your career, and I just want to clarify if this is true because it's one of those stories. I need to know if this is true. I heard back in the days of FDQ, you used to feed KFC to a chicken on stage. Is this true?
Partially true. He never made it to the stage to try the chicken live. Let me back this up. So I lived in North Carolina. I grew up in North Carolina. And it's, I lived out in the country. And it was common to be driving down some country road and see a sign out front for someone that goes, tomatoes, or pecans for, come by and get it. And then it's also not rare to see chickens for sale. I saw a sign driving down the road, chicken for sale, like $2, $3, something like that. So I'm like, back it up. And I sent my girlfriend in there because she looked normal. And I think at the time I had like purple hair, and I'm like, I don't know what's going to happen. So yeah, she went up to this old farmer guy and they sold her a chicken for a couple of bucks and put it in like a cardboard box. And I took it back to my house, and I went to Home Depot and bought some chicken wire and some 2x4s. And I built this cool little cage out in my garage, and it was right next to where we rehearsed. And he was going to be our stage chicken. And so I built a little cage for him that would travel with us. And we were a 3-piece band at the time. And my OCD just couldn't put the placement of a 3-piece band. I was like, man, it just looks weird. I can't stand in the middle. So we got to have, so the chicken set the balance off. He was the middle guy. And I built him a cool little, like, I call the Tweety Bird cage. I built it, and we put him in the cage. And so he was in the center, and we played, I believe, 2 shows with the chicken. And we were going to play the following weekend. And I remember, like I said, I built this cool little cage for him in the rehearsal spot. And I was waiting for the band guys to show up for rehearsal one day. And I just came in and I had a box of KFC and I was eating my chicken. And I'm just like, munching down on it. And a piece of chicken fell into the chicken cage. And the chicken jumped down and he ate it immediately. And I was like,
what?
Whoa, this chicken just ate chicken. I could turn this into I'm thinking like some sort of like ring guy at a circus. And I'm like going, I could announce this as the Cannibal Chicken. And I'll be part of the show where I bring out a bucket of KFC and I just feed it chicken. Like, people would think that was the most insane thing, whether they liked us or not. They would remember that forever. And so that was the plan. And I don't know what happened. It was a hot summer. I don't know if he died from a heat overdose, but the day of the show, I went out and he was legs up. Like,
no.
Yeah. So he didn't make it to it was going to be his big show.
Oh, man.
So yeah, a lot of people didn't like the fact we had a chicken on stage. I don't think you can get away with doing that these days. This is 1996. So, but yeah, back in 1996, we were, we played the kind of venues that, I guess we didn't really ask. We just did it. Like, we used to bring, like I said, we brought a chicken. We used to do our own pyrotechnics. I used to build my own pyro. We used to do that all the time, and we'd be the opening band, and they would go, okay, here you guys, you got a 30-minute set. I'm like, cool. Let me set up these things of gunpowder over here. We'd come out, we're the Frankenstein Drag Queens. Fire behind us. I have no idea if it's going to go good or bad. We don't have anybody watching. We're just like, just go for it. Just look forward. And if nobody's screaming, and you're not on fire, go for it. So we used to do all kinds of weird stuff like that. The chicken was the greatest thing we ever used. And then the toilet we used to have on stage too was a cool little stage thing too. I actually made offended a lot of people, especially in North Carolina. I made a nativity scene around the toilet. I had a real toilet on stage, and some friends of mine around Christmas went in someone's yard and stole all their yard decorations. They stole little baby Jesus, Mary, and Joseph, and they were just like big plastic light up things, and they brought them to my house and go, "Hey, you want these?" And I'm like, "Yes, but no, but I'll take them." Shut the door. So those became, and then my dad, so we rehearsed out in the garage next to my parents' house, and my dad had just replaced the toilet, and we had an old toilet sitting out there, and I just went, all right, what if I put little baby Jesus on the toilet seat, and that's the manger, and then we'll put Joseph and Mary around it, and then I'll put some cool little decorative lights on it, and that will be the piece in the middle of the stage to break up the irony of the three-piece. Like I said, my OCD with that. So there was always something. So the toilet and the chicken, unfortunately, those were never merged together. But can you imagine if it would have been? Oh,
a dream that could have been.
I could have made a chicken cage toilet.
Never too late. It's never too late.
Never too late. I smell a reunion. What's up, guys?
I've got this toilet and a chicken, shall we?
Yeah. One more round, guys. I got something I got to do.
You have no idea how badly I want that to happen now. So one thing I've always loved about you is obviously we've spoke about the different themes to your music and whatnot, whether it be horror inspired like Haddonfield, for example, or silly songs like I love to say fuck, like we said. Or you've got like deep and personal songs like Skeletons. Do you use your music as like therapy in a sense, to just put over those different sides of your personality, or is it just that sounds like a fun idea?
Yeah, I don't do it that often, but yeah, there's occasional songs like you said, like where I don't sing about Rambo, and I'm like, you know what, I need to sing about this. I don't have to, and people may not know what I'm talking about because I'll sing about it in some other, I'll disguise it, but yeah, I've definitely used it as therapy. Sometimes I'll pick certain songs, but overall, I just think music has always been therapy for me, whether I'm listening to other people's music that I like that gets me in a good mood or gets me out of a bad mood, or but being able just to play music and know you have an audience that wants to hear it or wants to hear new stuff, or so that's always exciting for me. So it's always therapy in some way. But yes, I get what you're saying. I do use it as therapy sometimes. I mean, getting out of the whole COVID experience and having this album, luckily I had something to channel some of those emotions into, so I don't always have that kind of stuff to, on the side of working on a record. So that kind of made it a little difficult as well, but I'm glad I had that, because had we not been recording, I don't know what else I would have done. I don't know. I probably would have picked up my throwing star habit a little more, maybe.
What's a Wednesday 13 like vocal process, like writing process work like? Do you get the guys to put music first and put lyrics to it, or do you write stuff first? Or just go, do you know what, I'm going to write about chickens, like you were saying earlier? How does your process actually work?
It's different every time. It's never been a certain way. I mean, there can be, I could be in my car driving and come up with a chorus or something in my head, and then I have to come home and pick up my guitar and then try to write it. That can happen that way. Sometimes I can have a guitar riff for months and months and months, get the band together, we play it, we make the music, and I'm still stumped. I have no idea what to do with the lyrics. And then it'll be me sitting around watching TV going, oh, I should write about Christine. Okay. And that's kind of the way certain things happen with the writing process. So it's different every time. So I'm glad it's different. And then sometimes stuff will just surprise me. I never know.
Well, I seem to have lost my co-host. I don't know what's actually happened to him.
I'm still here. I don't know what's happened to my camera. I've disappeared.
Oh, you are? Okay,
I'm still
that's
here.
fine.
Apparently, they don't want me to be seen on camera.
It's the ghost of that chicken haunting he's haunting this Zoom.
Because when we were talking about, you trying these different things, is that the reason why you tried projects like Gunfire 76 and Bourbon Crow? Just wanting to show that different side of your personality that might not fit like the Wednesday 13 brand, as they say.
Yeah. I mean, at the time when I did those, that was during, I just came out of Murderdolls in 2003. I realized that wasn't going to be like a full-time thing with Joey doing Slipknot, and you can't compete against the monster Slipknot. So, and that's when I started doing the Wednesday 13 solo stuff. I didn't really have a whole lot of time to think about it. I just wrote music. So those first 3 albums up to Skeletons, I think that's why those 3 albums sound different from each other, because it was such my brain was in different places. The first album just kind of came out. Most of those songs on Transylvania record were songs I didn't use, or I had kind of wrote hoping it would be the new Murderdolls maybe, and so when the second album came around, I wanted to do something totally different. That's why I made like a punk rock record with the Fang Bang album. The third album, I was listening to different stuff, so I made more of a darker record. So you can just see where my brain was shifting on it. And so the Bourbon Crow project came out around that time as well. And the same thing with Gunfire 76. I just, I guess I was I won't say I was confused musically. I just had a lot of things I wanted to do. And I thought if I changed the ingredients of what Wednesday 13 was too rapidly, incorporating those things in, that wouldn't have worked. I would have just sunk the ship. So I went, I'll do the Bourbon Crow as a project. That'll give me a break from it, gets my mind off of that. So when I did come back to Wednesday 13 later on, I had a better idea of what I wanted to do, more time to think about it. It was just it was a process, because I never really planned to be a solo artist. I just went, I better start doing something, or I'm going to have to go back to Kmart and go to work. So, so I just, and luckily I had my foot in the door with Roadrunner Records, and they put my first album out. I've just been really fortunate that, I'm putting out my 9th album, on a legit label with Napalm now. Last one was Nuclear Blast. We've been with Roadrunner. We've been, it's been a lot of labels and a lot of records, and I've survived a lot of these trends. I've survived bands. I've survived all kinds of stuff, and I'm able to still be here and do what I do, and I haven't had to compromise to any of those things.
Good, because at the end of that, there is only one Wednesday 13 out there. That you don't listen to a Wednesday 13 record and go, "Oh, that sounds like," it's your voice is so unique, that style and everything like that. So thank God you didn't give up, and thank God you kept persevering, because I'm a very happy man. So.
It's funny. I don't ever see it that often, but if you do happen to glance comments on Facebook or something, Facebook is just, I don't know, the people on there just, it seems their comments are just worse than but you can just see certain people, just the way they'll comment on stuff. And if I ever see the words "sell out," he sold out and signed to a list. Like, selling out would mean not trying to look like a dead person on stage, or selling out would be trying to do something that's, selling out arenas or something. I could barely sell out a club I play, so it's just but like I said, I've done what I've always done. I've stuck to my guns. I haven't compromised to new music standards. I still write the way I always have. That's why people hear a lot of the 80s influence in my music, because that's what I grew up listening to. A lot of the hair metal stuff, a lot of people hear Motley Crue in our music, and but they'll also hear the heavier stuff that I listened to as I got older. So I don't know, I've been able to do this, so long that now I don't really have to do side projects to do different sounding songs. So we can have a song like Insides Out, which is super heavy and different than what I've done, but I didn't have to start a side project to do that, because we don't need more than one song like that. So it's cool to be able to do that. And I think people, or at least the fans that have stuck around for all the album, I think they've come to expect us to experiment a little bit. And that's only, I think, what artists want to do, as you've been doing this for so long, is you always want to venture and try something new, because you do this for so long. If it gets easy for me, that's not fun. It needs to test my patience. It needs to test my musical abilities these days. It needs to check all those boxes. It'd be easy to go back and write I won't say it'd be easy to go back and write a Frankenstein Drag Queen album, but just the idea of it sounds easy to me, as opposed to just going, hey, you got to write a new Wednesday 13 album right now. I'll be like, oh, I need some time.
So, as I said in my intro, this year marks 25 years since the release of Beyond the Valley of the Murderdolls, which made me feel very old when I realised that. It was a true monumental album in my life. I was all aboard. I was a Girl Scout, black shirt, red fishnets on my arms. God knows why. Looking back, I look ridiculous, but I just loved it all. As I met you several times during that period. I think I even gave you a PVC tie that you said you'd wear on stage one time. I can't believe I'm admitting this to public. But But for those unaware, how did that project come about in the first place?
Basically, from what I understand, from the beginning of it, because I guess I always start with Joey. Joey was he was the guy that put the whole idea together. And Joey had a band in Iowa called The Rejects that he had, I think, prior to Slipknot. And when Slipknot took off and started doing stuff, Joey would always come back. And if he had, say, New Year's off, he would do a New Year's Reject show. And it sort of became the annual thing for several years that the Rejects would do a New Year's show. So I had got mentioned in that group of people with Joey involved with the Rejects about playing guitar or bass or something for one of the Reject shows in the year 2000. And for some reason, they went with someone else and had them play it. And then the following year, that's when I get contacted about working on this Rejects project with Joey from Slipknot. So I flew up there to meet Joey and work on, I guess, what would be the demos or whatever for what was going to be the Rejects, because Joey's like, Slipknot's going on a hiatus after this album, and I want to put this side project out, and we want you to play bass. And I'm like, bass? All right, because they already had a vocalist. They had a guitarist in mind. I don't play drums. But at the time, I was like, you know what? I'm working in North Carolina, delivering magazines, driving a delivery truck, just not doing what I wanted to do. I wanted to be in a rock band and touring the world. And so I was like, I'll do it, anything. I'll do anything to get out of this. But it was also using my music. So I'm like, well, this is okay. We'll see what happens. So either way, within 6 months of us getting together, working on those demos, it just switched around. And Joey was like, I don't want to call it the Rejects. I don't want to use this vocalist. I want to use you as the vocalist, and we're going to revamp the whole band, and we'll find new guys, and it'll be mine and your band, and we'll hire the guys to be the touring lineup, and you and I'll be the songwriters. And that's what it became, even on the second album and everything. But that's kind of how it just happened. I think once Joey and I started working on it, and him not thinking about it being the Rejects, he could think about it in a different light. And me being the vocalist and getting that opportunity, which is what I wanted to do anyway, I was more than excited. So the enthusiasm on my part of that record, and everything is all natural. It's all true because I was getting the opportunity of my life. I felt like to do it, and it did. It changed my world, because after that, I quit my day job, and this is what I do now. And so that was something that I wasn't sure if it was going to work out, but I didn't give up. I just said, I'm taking this opportunity, and had I not taken that opportunity, where would I be? I have no idea. So yeah, that record's super, super important to me. It changed my world, and I learned so much just within that year of that album coming out and going on tour. And I went from playing bars in front of 50 to 100 people, or 100 people if I was lucky, testing those gags, testing out the fuck umbrella, testing out weird stuff and getting a reaction out of 50 people. But to go and play in front of Iron Maiden's audience and have like 30,000 people either give you a good reaction or a bad reaction, that was amazing. And I learned what to do. I learned what not to do. I learned to never say, throw us your money, because you could get hurt really bad by European coins. I learned that the hard way. But we would always we would play in front of Iron Maiden. We did 6 weeks supporting Iron Maiden as Murderdolls in 2003. And as good as that sounds, that is good for a band that comes out with red fishnets and lipstick in front of Iron Maiden's audience. It was a fight every day to win them over. And I remember in some of the earlier days, I think it was in Sweden of all places. We played like an Olympic arena in Sweden or something. It's a huge place. And someone threw some money, and I was like, oh, great, throw some more. And it was just a shower of coins. And once we cleaned it up, we made about a couple $100 in like euros on stage. We just went to the bar and drank our wounds away. So yeah, little things like that, you learn, not to say it in front of 30,000 people, throw us your money, because it could kill you. In a bar, I could say that, and I'd maybe get hit once or twice, but not, didn't learn. So, but yeah, man, that was an awesome time in my life, and it was just it changed everything.
Did you expect it to blow up like it did, though? Because world tours, including like the Iron Maiden one you just said, performing on Top of the Pops. You're even in an episode of Dawson's Creek, for God's sake, all off one album. It's insane.
Yeah, it was for 1 year of, because basically that was the album came. We started promoting it in like June, like did a promo tour, and from that point on, we just had these opportunities. We were with the right management at the time. The Iron Maiden thing happened because management worked with Iron Maiden. So it was an easy thing. It was just, oh, well, hey, take out this up and coming band, and you guys can look like the heroes that help break them or whatever. But the Iron Maiden tour was not a successful thing on our part. I don't know that it did anything for us other than give us that experience, because the audience was not very kind to Iron Maiden's audience is just, there's an army of guys, and we're used to playing our own shows where half the audience is girls. So it's, just people it was just the mentality. I feel like I went back in a time machine every day and went, here I go. I got to fight these guys from the 80s every day. The guys with the denim jackets and hair down the waist. And, anytime they would see anybody walking, we didn't have eyebrows. We just, we were weird. We were playing in the daylight, so you could see how weird we were. So to win that audience over, that was a crazy thing. But like, we just had all these opportunities that we took, and then even when the band came off tour, we got offered, as soon as the band went on tour and Joey went back to Slipknot, we got offered to go out with Typo Negative. We got offered to go out with Alice Cooper, all at Ministry, all within like 3 months of that. So there was just so many could have things that we could have done. But yeah, I mean, it was just like I said, that was all within a year, and we just had a buzz because there was really nothing going on. This is like pre My Chemical Romance. This is, I think AFI had just came out, so it was that little break in between new metal and the emo screamo stuff, and we were just, here we are. What do we do? Well, I don't know. We're somewhere between Motley Crue and Marilyn Manson. What do we do here? So it worked. It was like perfect timing on that. And I mean, that was why I've been able to continue to do what I do.
I love it. But before we talk about what you're doing now, though, I did just want to take a second. Like, obviously last year we lost Joey, and it was absolutely heartbreaking. That's just for us fans. He was a brother, he was family to you. But do you have any like particular favorite memories of Joey? Just those stories you just think of and smile from ear to ear.
Yeah, I mean, you know what? There's usually stories I tell where it's just, just ridiculous stories where he and I would end up just laughing in the middle of just like ridiculous arguments or stuff. But my favorite story that Joey would tell me wasn't something we experienced together, but when he would tell the story, I could almost visualize it because I knew the area in his town where he talked about it. But we used to talk about dumb stuff we used to do as kids, and like getting in trouble, fucking with your neighbor's yard or something. And he used to tell me this story, and I always used to ask him about it because it would always get him in a good mood, and he could barely ever finish it because he would be laughing so hard in between telling me what he did. It was so juvenile and childish. But he stole his mom's reddest lipstick out of her makeup thing, and him and his friend went to this other dude's house they didn't like, and on their garage door they just wrote the word shit as big as the garage door and Joey's mom's red lipstick, and they just ran off in the woods and laughed about it. But him just telling that story, he couldn't even, it was a lot longer than the way I just explained it when he would tell it, because he could never get like explaining, like, what did you write? I wrote and so I guess they went around in the neighborhood and knocked on all the doors and was like, do you know anybody that would have wrote shit on our garage door? And Joey's mom's like, well, I might know. And she goes, her red lipstick is gone, and they're just like, uh-oh. So I think Joey and that kid had to spend like their Sunday like washing the neighbor's house and washing shit off of that. So I don't know. That's just a random story he would tell me, and that used to make me laugh. Makes me laugh now when I think about him telling it, and just to show how juvenile we were about just like our humor was always like, writing the word fart on something would just, would bring a light to our day every day. We would just, like, one time I got drunk on tour, and I got like fluorescent color, like gaff tape, and I wrote fart as big as I could on the side of the tour bus. And our bus driver was so mad, and our tour manager was mad, but Joey was so happy that I did that. Because we were going, like, I think we went down the road for a while with a big giant fart in like pink on this black bus. So it just looked ridiculous. But it was a fun stuff like that. That's my favorite stuff about him, was when we could act like little kids, and we did that as often as we could.
I remember years ago there was a video going around the internet, and it was literally just you and Joey in a car screaming. Absolutely nothing. I was like, why is this so damn funny?
It's funny because he's laughing in that too, and I'll give you an idea just how he was laughing. Because that's him like really, really laughing at that. He's trying to keep the character, but there's a movie called Raising Arizona with Nicolas Cage that he and I both grew up on. We knew it when we first met. That was one of the things we talked about. Oh, what's your favorite movie? Raising Arizona. Oh my God, my favorite part's this, and this, and we knew it. So that was just one of the things that there's a scene in that movie where these two guys are in a car and they realize they left a baby in the middle of the road, and they stop and they're just freaking out and they're turning around and they're driving and they're just going, ah! Is the greatest part in this movie. And we were just recreating that. We had no explanation for it. The video got online, and people now, like, you ask the question, like, what the fuck are you guys doing? So if you want to see it's called Raising Arizona. It's a famous movie, but the scene is John Goodman and I can't think of the other guy's name right now, but he was in Rob Zombie's movies. But yeah, it's this great scene where these guys are literally just screaming for about 2 minutes. And that was our sense of humor. We would do that on airplanes. We'd do that on trains around the world. It was always something funny with us. People would always think it was all the spooky horror, dark stuff, but no, it was all usually comedy movies most of the time.
Fucking love it. I love stories like that. It's because like I said, us fans miss him, but at the end of the day, we didn't know him on a personal level. So it's amazing to hear these amazing stories about your heroes, and yeah, I love it so much.
Yeah, man, he was a good dude. Like I said, he was really down to earth. He was funny, but his sense of humor was something people I don't think would ever expect from him, and it was always fun for me if I could make him laugh every day, like genuinely make him laugh. It made my day too, So we worked well together.
And he's a fucking incredible drummer. Oh my days!
Yeah,
probably.
Not to mention that. Yeah, he changed drumming for everybody. He changed it for all these up and coming drummers now. Like, you didn't hear that kind of drumming until him. You didn't hear that. Now it's everybody. I can hear it now. I can hear it in so many bands now. It's just, they've that high impact, fast drumming, the double bass. He set the bar high, and there's drummers now that, are, started off as little kids, watching him, that are now like amazing. It's insane. He changed the game.
Really did.
Absolutely.
Really did. I also felt sorry for Ben a little bit. It's like, you're the drummer in a band with Joey Jordison.
It didn't bother him. It didn't bother him as much as I thought it would. He never really. I don't think Joey ever gave him any reason to be weird. He was never on him about, like, do this or do this. It was just Murderdolls was just such a release. And for him, out of Slipknot, it was a project he didn't know what was going to do. It had success. He was in charge of it. He could do whatever he wanted. It was just a fast-paced band. We were drinking, we were partying, and I just remember all thing he ever did to the band would be like, play faster, turn around and go up the beat. I'm like, we can't play any faster. Yeah, so watch old videos of that, and you'll be like, how fast can these guys play? We give the Ramones a run for their money as far as like speeding up original versions versus like the live versions. Like, it was insane.
Incredible. But let's talk about what you're doing now. You've just released your brand new album, Horrifier, which, as expected, is phenomenal. I especially love Return to Haddonfield and Good Day to Be a Bad Guy. That is just an absolutely incredible song. But what's the feedback been like for the album so far?
It's been great. Every time you put a record out, you hope people are gonna like it. You don't want to read bad reviews. You don't want to disappoint your fans. So, and this is the day and age where everybody lets you know their review, whether it's a journalist or it's a Facebook, Instagram comment or whatever. But no, it's always a scary thing for me because I actually care. I actually care that our fans, what they think. I want to read positive. So the first, week of the album being out, I read all those comments. I read all the YouTube comments. so it's always, good to see that the majority of the people love it or took the time to actually talk about that they liked it. I was actually afraid to go to the next comment going, oh, where's the bad comment coming? But there really was no, there's a handful to be expected out of thousands and thousands of comments. And there's just 2 or 3 I can think of that somebody said something negative, but it really wasn't negative. Like sometimes a comment would be like, it was some magazine reviewed the album and said, if you're looking for shock rock that was done 20, 30 years ago, this is the perfect album for you. But if you're looking for something new, this is not the record for you. And I'm like, what's wrong with shock rock from 20, 30 years ago? That's that's what I do. That's my influence. So you just said what I do bad at is a good team. So you read those kind of reviews. So, but again, I guess as long as people are talking about it, if I can put out, this is the 9th album, and I always look at someone's album catalog when I get to that number, at least the way I feel about it, because I'm always judging myself and trying to be my worst critic. But like, I always compare it to movies. And I'm like, all right, where was the Halloween franchise by part 9? And I'm like, is it where I checked out? Like, I don't want to be Halloween part 9 from that franchise. I want to be the version that I want to see, So that's why it's important for me when it's the 9th album, not to get into that mentality of going, who cares? I'll just write some songs. Fuck it. I get into it. It's a process. So yeah, I don't want to make, I think of my albums as sequels. I don't ever want to put out, Friday the 13th part 5. I don't want to make that album. And I'm sure to some people I've made several of those, but whatever. So yeah, that's always a good thing, is to see a positive response to something that would normally get chewed apart, I feel like. So luckily, we're still doing what we do that people like it. So
absolutely. Are there any songs on the album that you're particularly especially proud of? You're just like, yeah, I like this one. This is a good one.
I think "Good Day to Be a Bad Guy" is one of the first ones that I came up with, and I knew instantly. I was like, that was one of the ones where I was literally just watching TV and I had my guitar in my hand and I just did the and I would kind of sound like a nursery rhyme or something. And I came up with "A Good Day to Be a Bad Guy." I was watching TV. It was right when the COVID stuff happened, right when I live here in California, so in Los Angeles, they were the first people to do the mask mandate, at least in the US. And I remember watching TV, and I was there playing that little part on guitar, and they were like, and today in the news is masks are mandatory. And when you first heard that, before it became a normal thing, first you're kind of like, what the fuck? Mandatory mask? Really? Like everywhere? Everywhere. You have to wear a mask into the grocery store. You have to wear a mask in here. And in my brain, I'm thinking like, because I watch movies my whole life, and I'm thinking, what about the bank? Can you wear a mask in the bank? Even in the bank. And I went, it's a good day to be a bad guy. And I just went, oh, it's a good day. And I went, boom. And that's how that song happened, literally in a 10-minute thing of watching the news. And I instantly knew I had a cool song. So when I finally got to track that with a drummer and go in the studio and do everything, and I heard the playback on it, I was like, this is a good one. It's one of those ones that I know will last for years. We can always play it at a live show. It's like an instant classic, because we did it on this last tour, and it's before the album came out, for anybody that heard the song. And I'm like, you don't know this song, but you're going to know it when we're done, because you're going to wake up tomorrow with it stuck in your head. And for the most part, that was the reaction we got. So that was one of my songs, I think, that instantly I knew I had a good one. That's like a Rambo worthy, catchy.
You gotta love those catchy songs. You say with Rambo, that's been going to how many years ago was Rambo released, and it's still
it's so easy to do, and it's so silly when you think about it. but it's so simple. And that's what I wanted to do with that song. I wanted to do something that was simple and fun. And again, like I said, those songs come to me pretty easy. I could probably do a whole album of songs like that if I really sat down and wanted to do it. That's what my brain wants to write a lot of times, stuff like that. Even though, I don't know, some people were like, do that next time. Maybe I will. I don't know. But yeah, I'm really, really proud of that song. Also dig the song Return to Haddonfield. That turned out really cool. I think because I took a break where I wasn't really writing songs about horror movies, particularly because I did that so much in the beginning. I was like, where do I go from this point? But when I finished that song and I wrote it about the Halloween series, or like the part 2 of the movie, I sat back and I went, this is a really good song. This is probably one of the best horror movie songs that I've did in a while. I kind of sat back, kind of separate myself, and went, I was, going to be the critic on myself. I would say, would this stand the test of time? Does it go head to head with some of the other songs? And I think it does.
I absolutely love Haddonfield, the original version off Fang Bang. So I was like, oh, a sequel. Yes.
Exactly. See, it works. If you don't know it, it's cool. But if you know it, it's even better, because that was one of my favorites from that record. And I know it was a lot of people's favorite off that record.
Incredible. Talking of playing live and all these songs, with so many songs in your back catalogue now, how do you go about creating a set list for your shows?
Oh, it sucks. It sucks. I mean, it's really hard to make one out, because, I always try to put myself in the audience. I always try to go, if you were in the audience, what would you want to hear? And I always try to think about what is your favorite band? And like, for me, like Alice Cooper, for example, is an artist that I've listened to from the beginning to where he is right now. So I have a familiar with everything he's done. So, I always picture like, well, if I was in the audience watching Alice Cooper, what would I want to hear? And like, so I kind of use that fan mentality of that. So I imagine myself in the audience watching us going, well, they're going to want to hear this one off this album. I got to do that one. I got to do this one. If I don't play this one, I could probably get by without that one. So it's juggling, and then looking at the clock and going, how many songs can I fit into that time that we have on stage? So yeah, it gets more difficult. And then every time you put a new record out, you want to play a song or two new. So then there's 2 new ones that knock out 2 of the old ones. So the people that came there just to hear the old ones are like, I don't want to hear that new shit. Play the old stuff. You're like, I gotta play the new stuff, So it's one of those things.
Oh, I can only imagine.
Yeah.
So with your theatricalness and how much you love being on stage and doing all the bits and pieces of the umbrellas and the chickens and the toilets and God knows what else, music videos then, the process of them, not the actual done deal, the actual process of them, love it or hate it?
Do I love it or hate it? The process?
Yeah, as in like actually making the music. Like, do you come up with the ideas yourself? Are you told what you should be doing? Like, do you enjoy making music? Because I know they take a long ass time, don't they?
Yeah, I do. I enjoy what I do, and I enjoy all this stuff is fun to me. To pull off a trick with the chicken or any of that stuff, it's like I feel like I'm a magician. So I even made up the word musician. I'm a musical magician. I pull a rabbit out of a hat. I don't know. Those things are accomplishments to do. There was even one time I came out of a regular sized trash can on stage one time too. That was a great moment. I did a lot of work, but yeah, I came out. I looked like Oscar the Grouch. Came out of the trash can. It was amazing.
Phenomenal. You've done some incredible music videos over the years. Home Sweet Homicide will always be a standout for me. Just the clowns. It's brilliant.
Yes.
So before we start wrapping up, a question I like to ask all musicians. If there's someone listening to this interview now, and they've never heard of Wednesday 13 before, is there a particular song or songs of yours you'd point them in the direction of? Like a true example of what Wednesday 13 is about?
I don't know. I think, over the test of time, the main songs that stand out are like people love my song "Bad Things" off the first album. I think that's a good example of kind of what you would get throughout the career of what we've done. It's got the sense of humor, the lyrics. It's got the sleazy hard rock vibe that we've always zoned into. That I love to say "fuck," which I've recorded with all the bands. It was a solo Murderdolls. You know, if you get that, then I think your ears will be open to most of it.
Incredible.
I'm all with a zombie. That's another good one too. That's one that even works on children. You can play that in a car with your kids, and they'll just want to sing "Zombie, Zombie."
I'm going to test that.
It works. It works. They love it.
I have a 5-year-old. I'm testing that. I want to see if that works.
Test it out. Most 5-year-olds like it.
Mr. Stevens, any more questions for our wonderful guests?
What I thought was really awesome was you mentioned about your song "Good Day to Be a Bad Guy." You released a chocolate hazelnut tea. Is that correct? Or tea leaf called "Good Day to Be a Bad Chai."
Yes. We started working with this company called Brutalities. They're big fans of the band, and they came in with a bunch of ideas and different, like, you should have heard half the songs. Their song title puns for different teas. Like, there's probably 10 or 15 different ones. It was Home Sweet Homicider. All kinds of cool, weird stuff. And but yeah, we tested it out. We launched it on Halloween with them. I'm not really a tea person. I have yet to taste it. But the results from everybody so far, because we actually people already got their orders in. So I'm reading reviews online. Like, did I poison anybody? No, did not. But no, the reaction's been really good so far. It's my first time doing anything, I think, that's edible or drinkable in my line of merch. So, I like to compete with Kiss in my line of merchandise of everything I can put out, whether it's in mass quantity or not. Like, I want to go to the limit. I want everything. I want the Wednesday 13 bedroom set with curtains for your kids' room. Get into bed with Wednesday 13. Where does that may sound?
To be fair, a Wednesday 13 coffin would be very on brand, and there is a Kiss coffin. So
yeah, I mean, there's everything. Someone was like, I was watching a commercial the other day, and it was a nut company. I was like, what if I get nuts and I could advertise it? Hey, put my nuts in your mouth. Wednesday 13's nuts. I'm nutty for these nuts. Won't you put my nuts in your mouth this holiday season? Like, I've worked out all the commercials, trying to do the straight face. It's hard to say nuts in your mouth without laughing, but I've been practicing. So we'll see. One day, tea today, nuts tomorrow.
And then a lamp. I don't know. That's the first thing that came to mind. But obviously, when you began your journey in the music world, did you ever think that, however many years on we are now, that you would be where you are today, 9 albums, etc.?
I think I hoped that I would be able to still be doing. I've never really thought about, where I would be or what. I think it just the main thing is just I always want to be making music, and that's all the thing that I've been good at. I think I'm good at, and it's fun. It doesn't feel like a job for me when I do this. So, but no, I mean, I didn't think, but at the same time, I didn't really have any backup plans. So maybe I was not really thinking it wouldn't happen. I don't know. I just always had that mindset, but like, I thought as soon as I got out of high school, I would be touring and doing everything, but it took about 5 or 6 years for that to take off. So I always know that there's always potential for something not to happen the way you think it will. But I've been really fortunate. But I work my ass off too. I stay busy. I've went away when sometimes I probably should have went away, and I didn't. People are like, "Oh, you should give it up." Like, nope. So yeah, I've just I've dug my dug my claws into this world, and I refuse to give up. I'm like a cockroach. I'm still going to keep coming back after everything.
Good. Don't want it to go anywhere. But have you got anything coming up that you're able to talk about? I know you recently had to cancel the remainder of your tour, but is there anything, other plans coming up?
Yeah, we have at the end of January, I think it's January 26th, 7th, 8th, and 9th. We go to Australia. It's our first time back in Australia since before the pandemic. And it's a really cool, unique tour. We're going with it's called Glam Fest 2023, and it's us and a bunch of my favorite glam, Sunset Strip, sleaze hair metal bands. It's us, Faster Pussycat, Pretty Boy Floyd, Enough Enough, and it's like it's an all-day lineup sort of deal. We're co-headlining it with Faster Pussycat, and for me, this is just, I can't think of a more fun tour we've been offered. We did a lot of stuff. We played with, and that's the cool thing about our band and being diverse in what we've done, is that we can cater a set to a tour like that. We can play all the cool glam rock type stuff, and then we can go and play with Cradle of Filth, and do our heavy stuff. So we balance that out pretty well. So that's something that I've been really fortunate to do, and I'm able to go and play shows with bands like this. Hopefully this will be something that'll do well. And we just did a few show maybe, I don't know, 2 or 3 months ago with Lita Ford and Enough's Enough, and it was sort of and that gave the promoters this idea to put this together. So if that keeps happening, you may see us with some more bands like that. I just I love to play in front of any audience, but I think some of those audiences would get where we come from if they can get past the Captain Howdy corpse paint.
Phenomenal. I can't wait for you to come back over in the UK. Like, past 2 shows I had tickets to, and they got bloody cancelled on me. So I'm like, come on. So
yeah, we're talking about the UK. I think April, May right now. So we're still getting stuff together. But yeah, our next trip is Australia at the end of January, and then going to start filling the rest of the year up, and another busy year ahead, I see.
Phenomenal. Before we let go, any plugs, social medias, any websites, or anything you want people to go and check out and follow you on?
I'm on all the social media pages. We have our Instagram and Facebook, but you get all that info on officialwednesday13.com. That has the links to all those pages. It has a link to our web store. You can get all of our merchandise. There's also the Patreon fan club that I do. I've been doing since the pandemic started, which is a cool little community of fans that I got to see a lot on the tours this year. They all met up. It's called my fan club's called the Wednesday 13s Necrophasers, and they call themselves the Necro Family. So they come out to all of our shows. They're just super supportive of each other, and I've created a cool little community of fans during that time off the road during the COVID stuff.
Phenomenal. That is awesome.
Check it out. It's available. So if you want to hang out with a cool group of people, and I do live stories and check in, and lots of cool little perks and things. There's a comic book we do for the fan club. Just lots of fun stuff. And I take it all from the stuff I grew up on. Like, what would be the ultimate fan club? You get a membership card. But how about if I put you in a comic book and you get to get killed monthly by me? How about that? That's a good idea. So lots of fun things in the fan club. So come check it out. Become one of us.
You've got a calling in the world of advertising. You do. I love it. It's phenomenal.
Thank you. That's right.
Wednesday, this has been so much fun. Thank you so much for doing this. It means the absolute world.
Thank you for having me.
Okay, thank you so much, sir. This means the absolute world. Please go enjoy the rest of your day. Massive thank you.
Awesome, guys. Thank you so much. Have a good one.
Take care, Wednesday.
Take care,
everybody. Take care.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
What a phenomenal interview. So funny.
It's great.
It is great.
Yeah. Just to watch you in your element, it's really fucking good. So I hope everybody enjoys it, because it's just for Jamie, just for the fact that he just hones his interviewing skills and smashes it straight out of the proverbial park.
I can't thank you enough. And a massive thank you to you as well, because I know I mentioned it in the trailer. You rearranged some personal plans for this to happen, so that meant the absolute world to me. So, yeah, I love you.
It's one of those things where it's like, we can't really... I'd be a dick if we rearranged the interview. But guys, it's incredible. Thank you so much for listening to it. We would just really hope that you guys enjoyed listening to it as much as we did recording it. Wednesday, thank you so much for taking the time to speak to us. You made my co-host's dreams come true.
Mr. Stevens.
Yeah?
It's only audience participation time.
Bring it.
Ladies and gentlemen, it's time to participate in Jamie's participation challenge. This week I said, everyone knows the little pink ball of adorableness that is Kirby, right? Well, his power is that he can inhale people and borrow their powers for a short period of time. So this week I ask, if you could inhale any characters and have their powers for a short period, who would it be and why? What say you, Mr. Stevens?
Johnny Sins.
You would know all of the professions ever.
No, I am joking. Although I've got a story about him, actually. Somebody, when he was dressed as a veteran, for obviously one of the pornos he did, at the Vikings game on Sunday just gone, somebody tweeted, my brother's just come back from, his service, like, thank you so much. And they put it on the Jumbotron. And it's just a picture of Johnny Sins. Fucking fantastic. Absolutely superb. Whoever did that, you're a fucking legend. Like, my brother's just got back from Afghanistan or whatever. Like, it's amazing to have him home. It's just a picture of Johnny Sins. It's just incredible. No, realistically, I really think I'd like to take Sonic. Ooh. I just want to know what it's like to run really fucking quick.
And not be out of breath. That'd be nice.
Oh, it'd be lovely. Sonic would be cool. Other than that, I'll take Raiden from Mortal Kombat.
Good shout.
Or the electric. What about you?
There's so many different choices I could think of for this, but part of me says Superman because I've always wanted to be able to fly. So that'd be pretty cool to try.
I don't like the idea of someone having every power. To
be honest, I just thought of flight was the first person I thought of, but yeah, Superman, well, you could be indestructible for however long it lasts. That'd be pretty cool.
Laser eyes, and fly and run really quick, and nothing can hurt you. And...
I feel like I'd want to use those powers, but for the dumbest reasons ever. It's like, your food's slightly too hot. Your Greg's sausage roll has gone cold because they don't heat their food up. I don't know. I instantly went to food. But there we go.
Bad, no problems.
Let's get some audience answers, shall we? We shall start with the man we normally end with, Mr. Ryan Williams. This is a tough question and one that I've pondered numerous times when I'm high. Shock. Especially when I'm playing Kirby Star Allies. I feel the pressure's building for picking the correct character. I think I'm getting more grey hairs from the stress of the decision. But seriously, my first victim, dinner, I would inhale Goku from Dragon Ball Z. So I could become Ultra Instinct form and head to Ukraine and bitch slap Russia and the Russian forces back to the Stone Age. Since political heads won't do shit to help Ukraine. Then I would buy a Tesla and inhale Electro, and I wouldn't have to worry about the electric bill and be able to drive my Tesla without any worry whatsoever. That is genius and money saving. I like it. Afterwards, it's a toss-up between inhaling both Iceman and the Human Torch, so I become the half-ice, half-fire superhero I've told you all about before. Or I'd inhale Celine Dion and make millions off an awesome singing voice.
What do you call it? Lukewarm if you took Iceman and fucking Human Torch. That's what your name would be, lukewarm.
That's a great superhero name.
Thank you. I'm here all week.
Becky Westwood says, I would take Magneto's power because then I'd never be stuck in traffic ever again.
Yeah, fair. That's a hell of a power to have. I'm in a shit reason to use it. If I'm honest.
It's better than heating up pasties like I came out of. So it's fair.
Yeah.
Sean Glancy, this is genius. He says, if I gain the powers of Kirby, I would then inhale Kirby, doubling down and thereby granting me the power to suck up the entire world. Evil laugh is included. Oh, clever. It's clever. Martin Skerritt says, I would probably inhale you, Tom Stevens, Mr. Uplifting. I'd inhale the shit out of you, he says.
Not literally, I hope.
No. We have some answers from TikTok.
What?
For the first time ever.
No way.
I put a TikTok video out with the question and we had some answers. Bum, bum, bum. TikTok says, Reese Isaac says Jesus because he's very powerful. When you think about it, Jesus had some badass powers. He could have been a superhero. Before you say it, if he was real. Yes. And the other one I got from TikTok is by username Light Cave, who says Ryan Reynolds because he has the power to make every straight man swoon.
Oh, nice. I like that answer a lot. That's incredible.
And last but not least, may possibly be the greatest audience participation answer we have ever had.
Yeah. I know what's coming.
Mally Malpass.
Yes.
I would inhale Darth Vader, so then I could masturbate and force choke myself a little bit.
And then one of my friends put, "You are an inspiration, sir."
I was walking down the road and that popped up in my newsfeed just as a comment, and I literally out loud in the middle of the street said,
It is fantastic. It is one of the greatest answers we've ever had. I'm not going to lie. Mally's a fucking legend.
The man is an absolute hero.
But if you enjoy Mally's answers to Jamie's participation challenge, Callum's Treachings, Tom's Journal, the absolute wanky bullshit we speak at the beginning, and all the interviews, then you'll enjoy the other 64 editions of the Chronicles of Podcast, wherever you get your podcasts from. Don't worry, Mally's on those too. You go at Spotify, Google, Apple, etc. Not sexcetera, etc. You can also find us on YouTube at the Chronicles of Podcast. Hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to get notified whenever a video is released, and as Ron would say, comment. You can also find our hashtag WBW Way Back Wednesdays on there. They obviously are all on there now, so they don't have any more new ones, but you can go back and enjoy those. Mark Bernardin, our first ever Way Back Wednesday, has gone over 1,000 views this week, so massive thank you to absolutely everyone that has enjoyed that interview. It's definitely a personal favourite. One of those guests that you see where you go, I'm not quite sure I know much about this person, and then end up absolutely loving them at the end. So thank you so much to everyone that's checked out the Mark Bernardin episode. Hopefully we'll get him back again for a second go around. I've lost where I am now. You can also come watch our Bloodstock live interviews on there as well, and our live vlog, which is almost at 400 views. So please keep watching it. We do appreciate absolutely every single one of you that came on, that was interviewed on there, that was on it. We actually have some news very recently, actually today, from a guest that was on the vlog. So more about that shortly. So you can check all those out on YouTube as well. YouTube is the best place to go for our podcast because you get to look at our stupid fat faces as well. But James isn't fat, mine is. Anyway, you can also find us on Facebook at the Chronicles of Podcast. So subscribe to it, like it, comment, put some gifs in there, do whatever you like with it. Just put some shit on there. Not literally, obviously, that'd be disgusting to clean the screen. It wouldn't be very nice. You can also find us, Jamie. Hang on, wait a minute. Where else could you find us, Jamie?
You could find us scrolling through the Chronicles of Podcast playlist on Spotify, listening to the new Wednesday 13 single.
You could do that. Or you can find us on the Twitter at TCO Pod. And it's escaped my mind again, Jamie, but where else can you find us?
In the aisles at Asda, searching for Tingle All the Way.
Definitely. And also, while you're there, on the Instagram at TCO Pod. You can also find us, as two people have done so, on the old TikTok at TCO Pod as well, where Jamie and myself post little videos for you to thoroughly enjoy. Check out the Chesney Hawks one. Trust me, Jamie's face is phenomenal in that video. I love it so much. I love it. I fucking love it. But you can also come and find us at our deliciously wonderful and beautifully brand spanking needs updating lovely little website.
Being updated.
Perfect. At www.thechroniclesofpodcast.com. You can find out all about us are on there, all of our shows are on there, all our affiliation sponsors are on there. Everything is on there for you to enjoy. Please come down, and while you're there, donate to the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, please. Do it right now. Joking. The Chronicles of Podcast. Downloaders, reviewers, sharers, raters, tell all of your friends about us. Subscribe to us. Allow us into your ears. And most importantly, never put your hand in an oven. Confide. Trust the glove. The glove will never let you down. Don't go for the tea towel. Don't go rogue. Don't think that you fucking, I've got asbestos hands. I'll be absolutely fine. Trust the glove. And on top of that, tingle all the way.
What a callback to last week's episode. I like that. Before we get out of here, let's say thank you to a few of our friends. First, we have to say a massive thank you to singer-songwriter, the handsome devil that is Mr. Matt Roberts. Go check him out on all the social medias at Matt Roberts Music. Find him on Spotify and wherever you stream your music from under the name Matt Roberts, oddly enough. Look for his brand new single, Perfectly Blue. It is absolutely fantastic. Get it into your ear holes. And of course, we have to say a massive thank you to Stay Cozy Clothing. Head on over to staycozyclothing.com. There is a 30% sale off at the minute. Let's get rid of those items so we can get some new ones in. Have a look at all those sale items. Stick them in your basket. When you've got everything you want, add in that discount code, The Chronicles, and get an extra 10% off your order. What a bargain, as they say. Massive thank you to Sean and Braden for supporting the show. And of course, you can also download the Stay Cozy smartphone app. And of course, you can get the brand new, I say brand new, it's been out quite a while now, the Sophie Lancaster collaborative t-shirt. These guys supporting these guys. It's absolutely amazing, an incredible design, and I really, really hope that you all go and partake. Speaking of the Sophie Lancaster Foundation, stamping out prejudice, hatred, and intolerance everywhere. We absolutely love these guys. We've been supporting them now since we were lucky enough to sit down and speak to Sylvia. As Tom said earlier, the Bloodstock vlog that we created, talking to people from the metal community, all about Sophie and her legacy, something we want to carry on doing in the future. But until we can get out there and talk to you guys again, head on over to sophielancasterfoundation.com, hit the hate crime tab and fill in that questionnaire there. That information used in that questionnaire will be taken to the courts to help prove that alternative subculture is a hate crime. It should be classed as a hate crime. It should be one of the strands of hate crime. This has been going on since God knows when. People have been treated differently because of the music they listen to, the way they dress, and the way they act. And it needs to stop, quite frankly. So help us, help them to make that happen. 26th of November is Make a Noise, the annual event celebrating Sophie and this year Sylvia's life. So please join us on the socials where we're going to do a special day dedicated to Sophie and Sylvia and help us raise money, raise awareness for this incredible charity. Can't wait for you to join us there. Please share everything we're doing because you could know people that know nothing about this charity. And I think if there's going to be any day of the year to help spread that message and make people aware of it, that day is the day to do it. So please join us. And last but not least, massive thank you to this handsome bugger over here. Look at that face.
Hi, guys. I completely second everything you say, Jamie. So, yeah, we will be spreading all the love on the social medias on Saturday. So please come and join us and make a noise. Jamie, another fantastic episode, sir.
Another fantastic episode indeed.
We love it. We do enjoy it. We love being here for you on the weekly. Because as for this week, we're going to see you all next week.
Goodbye, everybody.
Bye.
Ooh, tingly.